to the Midday Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Ray Dunn today, joined by Kevin Cooney, Brendan Gunn producing the show today as we take you over the next 4 hours here on The Fanatic. Plenty to get into. The Birds, I got a couple of questions for you. We have the Hall of Famer Jason Stark coming up at 11:25. Looking forward to talking to him. And, Kevin, we're going to get into quite a bit of baseball today.
Yeah, and obviously because the baseball team is kind of forcing that issue, which is
Beautiful
just
thing.
Absolutely playing out of their minds right now and winning games. To be honest, like last night, they had no right winning for 8 innings.
It didn't look like it, and yet they still found a way to do it. I'm the lineup producing right now, big for that team, Kyle Schwarber. We're going to get into, coming up in the 10 o'clock hour, some audio about the NL MVP race that you're going to want to hear because it's going to annoy the you-know-what out of you. And if it doesn't annoy you, trust me, it already annoyed Kevin enough where you're going to hear about it.
It's like hearing acting advice from Frank Stallone.
Let's start today with the NL East race.
Yeah.
Because we wake up today, the Phillies are up 6 games on the Mets. And it is getting to that time of the year where you are more than welcome to not only look at the standings, but to put stock in them. August 12th, we are closing in on that stretch run. And leads to the question of whether or not this division race is slowly ending or quickly coming to an end as the Mets continue to Met. And yesterday, I saw this. Chris Rose does his show, and he does it, podcast throughout the week. And one of the things they talked about was whether or not this race was coming to an end. And they brought in this clip from Brandon Nimmo, who was asked over the last couple of days if he felt like the division was slipping from the Mets. Take a listen to what Nimmo had to say.
No, I mean, we can go on a run. I mean, we still got time, but it just takes putting it together, playing some good baseball. But no, I don't think the division is slipping away.
So it begs the question: is the division slipping away from the Mets? Have the Phillies wrapped this one up on August 12th?
They haven't wrapped it up because they're playing the 7 against each other, head to head. But every number that you crunch points heavily to the Phillies. Phillies, if they play 500 the rest of the way, they win 91 games. The Mets would have to go 29-15 to pass them. 18 of the Phillies' final 44 are against teams that are currently at or above 500. 25 of the 44 for the Mets are for teams at or above 500, including 19 straight in September. It's not over, again, because of the head-to-heads, the 7 head-to-heads. And the Mets have played well against the Phillies. It's getting damn close. It really is. And then the conversation turns to, can you get a bye?
And I heard today on the morning show in the 9 o'clock hour talking about attacking that bye, and that's where you really, honestly, where I want to see them chasing in September is chasing that 2 seed, or, if you get a chance to get the 1. But to be clear on this one, when you say it's close to over, I understand all the numbers you're throwing at me. If they go 500 the rest of the way, they end up a 91-win team, it would take a lot for the Mets to overtake them. And I understand just how difficult the Mets schedule is the rest of the way. When I start to hear let's ask the Mets player if it's slipping away, or, is it over in August, I get very uneasy. I don't know what it is. I should trust this team to go take care of business, go 500 the rest of the way, but I think this thing is still far from over.
It's getting close, though, because of the trend lines. If it was the Mets surging and the Phillies slipping, and I gave you those numbers, I would say, okay, that's doable.
Right.
Because of the fact that the Mets are playing so poorly right now, and the Phillies are starting to carry that look of a team that is just going to do enough things to win games. The Giants did it for years. You could say, in a lot of ways, the Phillies did it in 22. That's kind of the way they're looking at this point.
I understand what you're saying when you talk about the way they look, and it does feel a lot better.
By the way, with 2 of their top 3 starters not really performing at their highest level.
And that leads me to some of the concerns I'll get into in a second. But when you talk about them taking care of business, I love the fact of what they've done. They win again last night. I was complaining.
Bottom of the lineup.
I was the guy that was sitting there like, why don't they finish off sweeps? Well, what do they do over the weekend? They go to somewhere they never win. And I was going back and forth with a friend of mine who's actually a Mets fan, and was like, before the weekend, I was like, well, you guys don't have to worry about us gaining ground in Texas. They never win in Texas. And he texted me something I can't read on the air Sunday night when the dust all cleared after the weekend because of the way things went for the Phillies. And looking at the way things are going for them, I totally agree. They have the look of the team that's going to really take this thing to the end, and we're going to be talking about divisional, where they fit in the divisional round, whether or not they get that bye. But I will say, for everything you line up, and I saw, you brought the numbers up of, again, being 500, the strength of the schedule. The Mets did have a 28-15 stretch to open the season. They are a team capable of putting together.
They won
that
7 in a row before they went on this losing streak. They won 7 in a row.
And they have had stretches where they've been incredibly hot and incredibly cold. You think about just in June, they had a 5.5 game lead. They were up. They were the ones on that side of the table 2 months ago. And then within a week, that entire 5.5 game lead dissipated because they went on another one of these cold stretches. They are similarly built. Like the complaints we have about the Phillies, we could strip away the team name, go on the air in New York, and we would be talking about similar of what we're complaining about. Their strengths, I love the Phillies pitching staff. I love their starting rotation more than I love what the Mets have.
I was just going to say, that's the biggest difference. The starting pitching for the Phillies as opposed to the starting pitching of the Mets is why I think it's unlikely the Phillies go on a slump that allows them back in the race.
Unless our concerns about Wheeler and Suarez are founded. And that's the one thing where I don't want to.
I'm the one guy in town who's not real worried about Wheeler. I'm not.
I don't want to be worried about Wheeler. I'm not worried about what he's going to bring you in October. I'm worried that here in the regular season, you're going to have to shut him down.
I'm okay with that.
But that impacts, like every turn through the rotation where you don't have Wheeler and you have someone else filling in for Wheeler, that's a lower level starting pitcher starting that game.
If the guy coming in for Wheeler is Aaron Nola, it's not a big deal in my mind.
Well, Nola's back to what he is.
Right. It's not that like you're replacing him with like some AAA kid who I think if they do shut Wheeler down, and I don't think that's a given.
No, I don't think it's a given either.
But if they do shut Wheeler down, it's mainly because to avoid the roster crunch that may develop here in the next couple of weeks of trying to get just to the finish line, with all their pieces in play.
This is a man that heard my crazy theory yesterday, or didn't, and is also thinking along the same lines with me.
Probably.
Because that was something we're going to get into later on, because I had a whole big thing. I had the map out everything of how the starts break out.
Is it like the conspiracy corkboard where everything's circles?
I had everything set up, and I was like, this is how they could do it to manage the pitching staff so they don't have to make a decision until September, and we'll get to it.
It's coming.
It's coming. It's a decision they can make within this week, and if you didn't hear it yesterday, we'll get to it coming up. But I'm curious for people out there at 610-632-0975. We're going back and forth here on this idea of whether or not the NL East race feels like it's coming to its close. I can't get to that place because, again, you mentioned the head-to-head, still having 7 against these teams, still having 4 of those games being in September. I can't get there, and especially if they shut down Wheeler, one of the times they will face the Mets, they will lose a Wheeler start against the Mets, which is, it's a difference. It's a difference. I understand you're putting Nola into this rotation. I still want to see him get back to what he's supposed to be. There's a reason we're not talking about him being one of the postseason starters. If we expected Aaron Nola of old, we'd be saying, all right, well, Aaron Nola is definitely going to be a postseason starter.
I think it's more likely that they shut down Suarez than it is Wheeler.
And if that's the case, maybe you're talking about a comparable return in terms of getting Nola back versus what you've had with Suarez recently. But just to lay this out for you, when you look at the New York Mets and what they've been this season, they did have that impressive start to the season. They do have that top of the lineup that I think you also, just being a baseball guy, understand just what they can get from that lineup if they get hot, including Brandon Nimmo, who says he doesn't feel like it's slipping away. It's certainly slipping away from them, but I don't feel like it's getting as close to a close as I think you do.
Again, and it might be just one of those things of you watch trend lines, you watch body language, everything. The body language for the Mets right now is just so bad that I do believe that we've almost hit breaking point with this, even before you get to Phillies Mets in a couple weeks. Would it surprise you if the Braves go to Citi Field and take 2 or 3?
I see that Braves team, speaking of body language, a team that's cool.
Oh, it's awful.
If the Braves go up there and take 2 or 3, we're going to be revisiting this conversation as well. The Mets really do need some help right now.
Yeah, they do.
But I think that the barometer will be, for me, them going up to New York, because I was up there in New York for one of the games, and they looked lifeless back in April when they got swept by the Mets. They go up to New York, take 2 or 3. I think that's the time when I would be able to start to tell you, okay, I think they've got this wrapped. Let's focus on the Dodgers. Okay. I just don't want to do it yet because I think there is upside with that Mets team that if they click into it, we're talking about a very interesting 6 weeks.
I get you.
So I'm curious, though, for the people out there at 610-632-0975, do you feel like we're starting to hit the close of this NL East race and starting to look at the bigger picture of the rest of the National League? And coming up, speaking of the National League, Kevin sent me this.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, let me just say that. NL MVP conversation. Guy with the last name Verlander, not Justin. Talking about the NL MVP. You're going to want to hear Kevin react to this one coming up next. He's Kevin Cooney. I'm Ray Dunn. Take you through the Midday Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Ricky Bo.
On producing the show today, and we got NL MVP conversation coming up here. We jumped into the idea of whether or not the NL East feels like it's over. It's got that feel of it being over. I can't quite get there. The 7 games head-to-head, I've seen this Mets team put on an impressive stretch. I understand what they're up against in terms of their schedule. But it's just too early for me to call, all right? I'm like the guy on election night standing in front of the board, and like one of those battleground states go, and I look at it, and I'm like, nope, don't want to do it, can't do it, sorry, not going to. I have a feeling it's going this. It's honestly like where the battleground state goes, and like it looks like it's going to go one way, but they're like, there's still votes that could dump in.
You would be awful on decision desk.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I'm an indecisive mess for a lot of things.
Now, when you say it's not over, do you think the Mets can overcome this 6-game lead right now, or they can just make it close where you're concerned the rest of the season? They get it down to 2 games again, and you got to worry about it. Or do you think they can come all the way back from that?
I think they can overcome it. I mean, I've seen this Phillies team slump before, and I understand it's stemmed by the fact that they have a great starting rotation. I would like to feel a lot more secure about the health, and hopefully Jason Stark coming up at 11:25 gives me some sort of insight that makes me feel a little better.
See, I think part of it too is because the Phillies schedule. It's not like they're going to have this stretch of, oh my God, they're going to play like 12 straight games against teams that are in playoff races.
Right.
You got 5 series against teams in playoff races. Seattle, the 2 against the Mets. You want to go Milwaukee and the Dodgers. That's it. The rest of the way. I mean, and they're all broken up in their own way.
It is. Now, if you were to sleepwalk through Washington after a really impressive
You
work,
can't sleep through.
but even if you split 2 there and lose to Seattle,
you can't split 2.
you could.
No, you
In
can't.
theory, they stink.
In theory.
I understand they stink.
The Nationals right now might be worse than the Rockies.
They are dreadful. I understand they are dreadful. All right, so you want to sleepwalk through it? Like, there is a chance you lose to an inferior team. Like, you go to Atlanta. Do you split 2 in Atlanta in between New York and Milwaukee?
You might.
That's what I mean. Like, it's not that.
That's more likely than
All right, so
Washington.
Instead of one of these 4-game series against teams that, like, the Braves
The
look
Miami
beyond
series could be.
belief. Yeah. I understand they had the nice stretch there where they got themselves to 500. That was a nice, basically,
Play 500 against Miami.
If you end up in one of these scenarios not playing to what you should against one of these lesser opponents, and then you really don't play up to, I mean, it's really the Mets. Like, if you lose 5 or 7 to the Mets,
then we're talking a different race.
we're talking about a different race. And that's the one thing I want to see. I want to see those 3 in New York before I start to look and say, I'm calling the NL East for the Phillies. That's what I want to see.
Do us all a favor. Watch them on television. Because I've heard your record up in New York.
Well, no. So I think I'm going to go.
No.
I think I'm going to go.
No.
That's why he's not calling the division. He knows they're going to lose.
No, this is why. No.
I mean, if tickets are already purchased, what can I do?
What does your Mets fan have pictures of you doing that? He's making you go to these games.
I'm not saying you're fixing it, but you're like a Guardians pitcher at this point.
I'm on suspension. Am I Class A? Can I at least be Class A in this scenario?
Sure.
All right, sweet. I've always felt like I was
We're
a
not
good
going to
closer.
hear from you again either.
Okay, moving over to the NL MVP. And if you want to get on the NL East race, you could at 610-632-0975. Ben Verlander was doing his show.
Untalented Ben Verlander.
Oh, come on, dude. Low blow there.
No.
He struck out, or no. No, he hit a home run off his brother, right? That was the thing that happened?
Whatever.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just trying to give him a little bit something here. Now, he went on his podcast this week.
Otani suck up Ben Verlander.
He is Otani's biggest fan.
Traveled to Japan to go see him.
Yes. I think people are getting the message on how you feel about Ben Verlander. So if you can remove the bias that's already been placed in this conversation over Ben Verlander, he tried to address the NL MVP race and said there's not at all a discussion about this NL MVP race. Take a listen to what he had to say about Otani.
So I've seen NL MVP conversations out there, and people just want to have a conversation, and I get it. I really do. It's fun to have a conversation. It's fun to talk about how good PCA is and how good this year has been. It's fun to talk about Kyle Schwarber and the tear that he has been on. But stop it. There is no NL MVP conversation this year. Stop it. This man is the greatest player of all time. Appreciate it while we can. You are going to one day tell your grandkids that you got to watch Shohei Ohtani play baseball in his prime, and they are going to say, tell me about it. That's incredible.
I mean, yes, it is incredible. I look forward to telling my grandchildren about it.
Not the
but
greatest player.
overall,
It's not the greatest player.
and I don't even want to get into the greatest player of all time thing here with him, because even if he was, even if you do believe Shohei Ohtani is the greatest player of all time, the MVP is not the GOAT award every year.
No.
That's not, because if you want to say all-time greats should win MVP every year, we could go to 1,000 examples over sports where that player should be it every single year. Ohtani has had a great season. Right now, he is the front runner for it for a reason. There's no denying that there is a reason why Ohtani is the lead candidate for this. However, to say there's not a conversation significantly discounts what Kyle Schwarber has done in carrying the Phillies this season. And that, to me, is the disrespectful part of this conversation. I understand those that have Ohtani as the MVP. I think if there was a ballot done today, the biggest thing that would stop Ohtani from winning is voter fatigue.
Right.
Like, I understand his case tremendously. But to say there's no conversation is just stupid.
But let's look at a couple things. For one, the RBI numbers are, Schwarber's not like 1 or 2 ahead. He's like 24 ahead. Okay? Home runs are obviously the same. Schwarber's team is doing better record-wise. Okay? The Phillies, we're talking about whether the Phillies have a division race or not. The Dodgers, who were billed as one of the greatest teams of all time, right now are fighting for their lives in that division against the Padres. Okay?
That's the madman. That's A.J. Preller right there.
I mean, I just think this is like the idea that you can just blatantly dismiss this. One, this is why people like Ben Verlander should never get a vote on this. And yes, I'm a BBW member, so I know that I'm a little biased. But like, this is ridiculous. This is just so stupid and so dismissive. And this is why, like, I hate these conversations from pinheads who have agendas.
Woo! Coming out firing in the opening 2 segments for you. You heard Verlander, what he had to say. Ben Verlander, what he had to say. When you look at the NL MVP race, where does Schwarber stack into it? I still feel like he's 2 in this. I think there's a case to be made for him, and I understand why, like, here in Philadelphia, we'd stump for him to be the MVP. Ohtani, since we've made this a conversation, has continued to be Ohtani.
Yeah.
And I think part of the difference, we talk about RBIs, like where they bat in the order, where they're at. Ohtani runs in terms of runs scored because the rest of his lineup is as good as it is also 20 ahead of him. And I think both those stats are indicative of who you have around you.
It's a conversation.
It's a conversation,
It's
though.
not ridiculous to have the conversation.
It's very dismissive from Verlander. I don't appreciate it. Coming up, we'll get to the phones at 610-632-0975. Do you feel like this NL East race is trending over? And also, how real is this NL MVP conversation? And coming up, we're going to get into a guy that should be on the postseason roster, but should we trust him? That's coming up next. He's Kevin Cooney. I'm Ray Dunn here on the Midday Show, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phils win again. I'm Brendan Gunn with your Fanatic Sports Update. Yes, the Phils got another win last night, defeating the Cincinnati Reds by a score of 4-1. Taiwan Walker continues to give the Phils solid outings as he just allowed 1 run last night in 6 innings pitched. Kyle Schwarber hit his 42nd home run of the season last night. Briefly took the lead in the National League for home runs this season. Then Shohei Ohtani tied it back up at 42. Phils run it back against the Reds tonight. Ranger Suarez is on the mound. First pitch is tonight at 6:40. The Eagles avoided a major crisis with the Landon Dickerson injury yesterday. Adam Schefter, among others, report that Dickerson is set to have a minor procedure on his right meniscus in the coming days. Dickerson is now considered week to week with the goal of being on the field week 1 against the Cowboys. After a day off yesterday, the Eagles hit the practice field again today. Then tomorrow they begin their joint practices against the Cleveland Browns before a preseason game matchup on Saturday. This update was brought to you by Dairy Queen Savor, the DQ chicken strip basket with 4 seasoned chicken strips, fries, Texas toast, and DQ signature country gravy. Get it delivered on the DQ app. Happy tastes good at participating locations. I'm Brendan Gunn, and you're listening to the home of the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Ray Dunn alongside Kevin Cootie, Brendan Gunn producing the show. Today, Brendan Gunn going to debut Gunn at 1, which, honestly, a segment that I just told him here. I didn't really give him a ton of, things to lead up to. I understand I'm teasing something that's an hour and a half or 2.5 hours. We have a lot of radio left. 2.5 hours away. But I just pretty much said, you do a really good job of annoying me.
And I plan to
when
do
you're
it.
on the air, so I look forward to at 1 o'clock having my entire final hour of the show ruined by Brendan Gunn.
The tables have turned.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
Somebody from that side annoying the guy on this side.
Yeah, no, I do a pretty good job. I think anyone that's ever worked with me would say I could do a pretty good job of needling you and bothering you, which, I don't know. I feel like that's a nice thing. I think I do it to an extent. Brendan Gunn has doesn't know where the line in the sand is with that. He
Little
just kind of
pest.
goes. Yeah, you're a pest for sure.
I thrive off of getting under people's skin.
Yeah, no, we know. We're well aware. We've worked with you for a while now.
The Fighting Irish.
Where are they in the college football bowl? Where are they?
Disrespected, and we don't forget.
Where was that?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter until you played it last weekend.
Where is? No, I actually didn't
6.
see. Sorry.
6.
Oh, okay, because everyone was reading out the top 5, and I didn't hear their name. That's why. There's 6. It makes sense. Yeah, hey, listen.
Penn State's what, 3?
2.
2?
Two.
Texas,
They're ahead of Ohio
PSU.
State
Yeah, no. Ohio State behind them.
for 1 week.
We'll see November 1st.
No. For 1 week. Because if Ohio State beats Texas,
Oh, yeah.
Ohio State's going to go to number 1.
That's fair. They won't, but
I don't know.
November 1st, guys. That's what I got marked on my calendar. You guys annoy me, and, the Penn State thing, I hope they're unbeaten until November 1st, and then we'll see what happens. Because that's the way it goes every year. You can win 11
Every
games.
single year. They don't
11
beat Ohio
games.
State.
I'm just saying. I hope they go unbeaten. But we'll see November 1st. I'm rooting for all you around here. I want to put my arms around you. All right. Let's get to the phones here talking to Phillies. We opened up the question earlier, and you can get it at 610-632-0975. Does the NL East race feel like it's coming to its close? Does it feel like it's over at this point? The Phillies have opened up a 6-game lead over the Mets. We played for you earlier. Brandon Nimmo says, I don't think it's slipping. It's certainly slipping from the Mets' grasp.
Then again, what's Brandon Nimmo supposed to say?
Well, yeah, absolutely. 100%. I disagree with him, but there was no other answer for him to give there. If he says, yeah, we really messed up, does seem like we're going to be a wild card team.
We're 7 down with 8 to play. Hey, there's a shot.
There's a shot. Let's go out to Bethlehem, talk with Alex. Alex, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Yeah, hey, guys. Just a great win yesterday. Kevin, you said they had no business winning that game. Taiwan on the mound. Abbott was dealing. You're losing 1-0 the vast majority of the game. Look, this team's on a heater right now. I think we might go on a massive winning streak. Or 16 out of 18, something like that. And, yeah, this thing's a wrap. The Mets are a joke. And I'm thinking about bigger things than the NL East title.
And that bigger thing being, I assume, a bye?
Yeah, I'll take the bye right now. Sign me up for that.
Yeah, I think that's a big, and Alex, I appreciate you checking. I think that's a big thing that a lot of people are
Yeah, the conversation will start turning towards bye. And by the way, for all the good things I mentioned about the Phillies-Mets comparison, the Dodgers comparison is not as good. The Dodgers only have 15 games against teams above 500 right now. Now, some of them are against the Padres, which is head-to-head. But and the Phillies play the Dodgers, obviously, head-to-head in L.A. in September. But, yeah, that's it's good stuff right now for the Phillies against the Mets, maybe not so much against the Dodgers.
And what he mentions there, just talking about them stealing the win the way you mentioned it earlier, I mean, that's the good team type of win last night where it doesn't feel like you should get that one and you're still able to find a way to make it work. And he says winning 16 of 18. That's something I had been talking about last week after they lost that game to the Orioles, where I just wanted to see them build something. Like the extended winning streaks haven't been there, and it's not like I need them to go on a 12-game winning streak to prove to me they're good enough to do something. I know what they are.
You don't need them to be Milwaukee.
Yeah, it's the beauty of what this team is, and it's also part of the reason they drive you crazy. You know who they are. You know what their incredible highs could be. You know what their lows could be. And I just wanted to see them build something sustainable winning-wise, and I've been happy because they've done that. I mean, that you look at this stretch, you have the one sleeper game against the Orioles, and the only other loss in this stretch is a loss to the Tigers. I mean, I take that.
Yeah, think of it. Think of it this way. By the way, when they went into that Sunday night game against the Tigers a couple weeks ago, they were a half game down, and now it's a 6-game lead. 8 days later, I mean, these type of flips are real difficult for teams to overcome. I saw somebody say, well, in 2 months it's gone from 5.5 up Mets to 6 up Phillies. That's 2 months as opposed to a very small window.
However, when you say that,
yes,
that stretch happens right now, and you go back to the middle of June, from June 12th to June 19th, it was a 5.5 game lead for the Mets.
Yes.
And then it was tied by June 19th.
Yeah.
Like that's been the wild swings of this division, which is why, again, I would be terrible on the decision desk. However, I'm not ready to rule this one over. I'm not calling this race for the Phillies. I can't do it yet.
I'm close. Maybe I'm holding off to the same time. That first Mets series.
You really want to do it. I feel like you are like right on the cusp of doing it.
It's close. It's close to being done. I'm not. I've seen weirder things. Look, I covered weirder thing in 07.
Yep. Maybe that's also it. Maybe it's not trauma because it was a beautiful thing for me, but I have.
You're worried about karma, like a payback.
Not even karma. I just have like part of what I grew up on was that season. Like I was so young in that season, were like early baseball memories. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to hide from that?
I was in my 30s.
Yeah, I was not. I don't know what you want from me. I still got time till my 30s. Kevin, I can't hide that. Everyone hates me for my age already. I might as well lean into it. All right? Coming up, we wanted to get into this postseason conversation. And the roster, the pitching staff will have one guy, it appears, that I don't think, even last week I said he was going to be on the roster. But I think he's worked his way on there, but do you trust him? We'll get to that conversation and some Eagles coming up later in this 10 o'clock hour. He's Kevin Cooney. I'm Ray Dunn, hanging out with you at Middays, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Philadelphia,
Kevin Cooney, I'm Ray Dunn. Brendan Gunn producing the show. Kevin, I have to thank you for one thing. You have made me more apt to calling people I'm not related to on the phone. I don't think I was a big phone call guy for most of my life, and now that we talk on the phone, I think I talk to you on the phone more than I do anyone that I'm not related to. So I want to say thank you to that because I'm not one to pick up the phone. I'm usually a text guy.
I'm actually the more annoying guy. I'm the FaceTime guy.
Oh, you're a big FaceTime guy?
Yeah.
I don't mind a good FaceTime. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. If you hit me with the FaceTime, I'm probably going to be like,
a good one?
Touchscreen.
oh, come on, man.
Come on.
Oh, man.
I love, by the way, we don't, on the night show, we don't have the YouTube and everything. I love how people are like giving you recommendations for like facial hair and everything.
Hi to our YouTube chat.
Yes.
I appreciate you hanging out with us. I appreciate you guys. I was just saying, like, I was thinking about it on my way in. I was like, in terms of people I talk to in my life, Kevin Cooney has risen through the ranks of like pretty much anyone I'm not related to. I think you probably are the one that I talk to the most.
My wife will tell you that's a bad idea.
Well,
just going down my calls, it's my fiance, it's Vito out there, and it's Kevin for like months and months at a time. Yep. Only people I talk to on the phone.
I was going to say, there's a lot of people that share that experience. I get Kevin and I were talking on the phone. I'm like, yeah, Kevin's just great. You're great to pick up the phone.
I'm also big on talking while I'm driving. And you can't text while you drive. So
you cannot. That is true.
Yes.
I want to say that you cannot drive.
Beasley cares.
Yes. I will not comment further on the matter. You should not text and drive. We've been getting into a lot of Phillies early on here. How could you not? I mean, this team is hot right now. This team has opened up a 6-game lead in the division, despite the fact I'm not ready to just declare it over. But there is one thing that we're looking at now beyond that, and the postseason roster. A week ago, I called him Top Step Taiwan for maybe the 1,000th time. And Taiwan Walker, again last night, goes out there and does his job. I mean, that's the way you got to keep describing it. He has been a consistent presence when in this rotation, keeping them in ball games. And I know you gave me the number earlier, his ERA since he rejoined the rotation.
2.91.
It's impressive. And for a guy that seemed like a sunk cost last year, he's really rebounded. I remember going back and forth with Billy earlier this season. He's like, he's giving me all I need already. And I was like, that's not true. You're going to need more from him. And he's given you much more over the last couple of months, and especially since
for a guy that I think everybody felt when they moved McAble down to the minors. And we thought, okay, he's the placeholder for Painter. Mm-hmm. He's been way more than that.
Absolutely. And now it opens up the conversation about Taiwan Walker on the postseason roster, which it's tough for me really to give you a justifiable reason to put Max Lazar on the postseason roster over Taiwan Walker. He's gotten out of big situations.
We're assuming Ross is gone. And
you might have missed it. I assume Ross is the next to go.
Probably.
I would assume that is the logical. Even if you do the roster moves where someone goes to the injured list, when Nola comes back to preserve that rotation where Walker stays in the rotation, you don't have to make a decision, and you don't have to make 2 decisions in the next 2 weeks. If there's one decision made before the start of September, I think it's that Ross is gone.
Yeah, I agree.
So that would be the way I am going on that one. But looking at Taiwan Walker, I think if we say he's going to be on the postseason roster and he's going to be a part of that bullpen of the postseason, how much do you trust him to come into a closely contested postseason game?
I trust him enough where they have let's play the scenario out. Starter goes 4 innings, you decide to make a switch. He's going to pitch 1 or 2 innings, probably 5th and 6th. Mm-hmm. Okay. He's more of a break glass kind of guy. But do I trust him in that role? Yeah, I do. Now, would I put him in the 7th or 8th inning? No, I wouldn't. But they don't have to now with Duran kind of backing everybody else in the bullpen up.
I guess this goes more to where you think Luzardo fits in the postseason picture of what they're going to do.
Lukey. Left-handed specialist. Basically, you're bringing him what used to be the Lukey, in a sense of you're bringing him in for the tough left-hander in the 7th or 8th inning.
Okay. So there is no, I get, and I agree.
By the way,
with that one,
and having to start the inning because he can pitch from the stretch,
and he thinks he's figured that out. Yeah. I need more data behind that one before I say he's figured.
He needs
that
about 4 more starts of that.
Right. In that sense, because I do think he is going to be a higher leverage guy for you in the postseason. There is just a part of me that, like, if they need 2 innings, like if they get into a situation where a starter's run himself into some trouble, someone else needs to put out that fire, and then they need 2 innings covered. Would I be more comfortable with Luzardo covering those 2 innings than Taiwan Walker? I guess numbers-wise, I should tell you no because of the way Walker's pitched. I just feel like me personally, I feel more comfortable with Luzardo on the mound.
See, like to me, I'm going with the scenario. I think Luzardo is going to be used as the left-hander. He's not going to be Strom,
Right.
but I think he's somewhere between Strom and Tanner Banks.
Okay, so you think he supplants Banks?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, given his stuff, like that would make sense.
And by the way, I will tell. I'm going to make one bad prediction here. Well, I make a lot of bad predictions on this station, but I will tell you, Matt Strom, if this ends before November, Matt Strom will be a figure in it because I think that fastball, I cannot use him in big spots leading games in the playoffs. That fastball's not quick enough right now.
No, and dare I say, like going 3 days this weekend, dare I say, like he's one that is going to benefit the most from Alvarado coming back? Because I think his usage has been.
He'll get cut down big time.
I think he's kind of could use like 3 or 4 days just to be a spectator. And I know that's tough to do right now, given where you're at and just with the way this bullpen's constructed. Connor and I talked a little bit yesterday about they're not left-handed devoid, but they have two lefties that I feel like give you like Strom's better
Same
version.
stuff.
Yeah, Strom's a better version of Banks. You get a similar version of that guy.
And neither one of them has a super effective swing and miss fastball.
Right.
Whereas I think Luzardo could come in and have that. And that's where his ability, I think, for the postseason is going to be. And that's why Walker's going to be at the way back
So
end.
for both of us, Walker's to break glass in case of emergency.
Eat innings in a 5 or 7 game series. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Does he, if they get into a 3-game set, is he on that roster?
Probably not.
Probably not. Okay, so that's where we'll draw the line between the two of them. I think that's a good line for me to draw because I do think, and maybe Brendan Gudd, you could chime in here real quick alongside this. There's no world in your mind where he's like, I guess there could be a world, but no world right now for you that he's not on the roster, right?
No, Taiwan Walker has to be out there on the roster. I mean, he's earned it, dude. Like, he's gone 6 innings in his last couple of starts, 1 earned run. He's not the prettiest, but he's getting the job done. If you kick him off the roster for who, for what, as Ricky Waters said, I mean, but, like, who are you going to have in his place? It doesn't make any sense.
I'll be honest, the guy who may end up getting, we're talking about guys who could end up being cut. Jordan Romano could be off the roster.
Oh, he could be. Listen, Joe Romano is lucky that Joe Ross exists.
Yeah.
Because Joe Ross is the first of the offseason additions.
Then
to
it
go.
would be a DFA.
Yeah. So that's a possibility you go down. I would love to see, like, maybe it's a toxic relationship for me where I'm like, at some point it could click in for the guy. He's going to figure it out. He's not going to figure it out to the extent of being what they paid for, but for him being my 6th or 7th inning guy, I wouldn't mind it.
No, I agree.
So, coming up, we'll get more into this Phillies team. Also, I guess we're going to venture back into these waters. I don't know if you heard, they're doing quarterback tiers. A very, very unique thing that's been done for the first time this week by the Athletic.
Summer's not over yet, is it?
No, dude, I just want it to be over. Can we please get to Eagles Cowboys?
No, don't waste summer.
Okay, can we get past this content cycle of the NFL? Is that better?
That's better.
Jalen Hurts was ranked again. We're going to talk about it. He's Kevin Cooney. I'm Ray down here on Middays, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Phils stay hot. I'm Brendan Gunn with your Fanatic Sports Update. The Phils got another win last night, defeating the Cincinnati Reds by a score of 4-1. Taiwan Walker continues to give the Phils solid outings as he allowed just 1 run in 6 innings last night. Kyle Schwarber hit his 42nd home run of the season last night as well, which is tied for the most in the National League with Shohei Ohtani. It's making it a close MVP race. We'll keep an eye on that. Phils run it back against the Reds tonight. Ranger Suarez is on the mound. First pitch is tonight at 6:40. The Birds avoided a major crisis with the Landon Dickerson injury yesterday. Adam Schefter, among others, report that Dickerson is set to have a minor procedure on his right meniscus in the coming days. Dickerson is now considered week to week with the goal of being on the field week 1 against the Cowboys to see that banner come down. After a day off yesterday, the Birds hit the field again for practice today for training camp. Then tomorrow they begin their joint practices against the Cleveland Browns before a matchup on Saturday for preseason game number 2. This update was brought to you by Discover. Do you know what it's accepted at 99% of the places that take credit cards nationwide? Well, if you guessed Discover, you guessed right based on the 2024 February Nielsen report. I'm Brendan Gunn, and you're listening to the home of the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Hi, my name is Phil E., and for most of my
I realize I've neglected the text line here. Hi, I'm Ray Dunn. Kevin Cooney alongside me here on the Midday Show, 97.5 The Fanatic. Brendan Gunn producing the show, and I feel badly. You know, I've acknowledged the YouTube chat. We've gone to the phones.
Yeah, YouTube chat has a thing for you. They have asked me to do a favor.
Yeah. Well, the reason why that we didn't come on the air at 10 o'clock with, you'll never guess, because we've done this a million times. And we're just reiterating the same point, which is why it's more of a, hey, there's something that went out there. I want to address it, instead of, let's do the Jalen Hurts conversation for 4 hours.
Is he one of the top 154 Philadelphia athletes right now?
If you had a list of every player to put on an Eagles uniform in the last 25 years, would Jalen Hurts crack your top 37? No. Okay? We're going to bring it up. We're going to address it. But first, let's get back to the text line.
Is Jalen Hurts one of the top 53 Eagles right now?
I mean, you could probably make the case he hasn't taken the field yet in the preseason, that given his value since they broke camp, he's probably not. 610.
Yeah.
Going to the text line here on the Phillies. Let's see what we got.
Why hasn't he thrown a pass yet?
No name on this one, but he says, I'm still afraid, even with this winning streak by the Phillies, because I can't get this thought out of the back of my mind. What do you do if you're still on this winning streak when Bohm comes back? Do you plug him right back into the lineup and risk ruining the chemistry you have right now with this winning streak?
You don't risk anything. Yes, you put him back in that line.
Yeah. The only thing is, with Sosa, maybe he goes back to a platoon, Sosa and Stott?
Yes. Well, it is platoon right now. Right now they're having Sosa play third on days against right-handers. So I went through this yesterday, actually. It's staggering. He has shown very, very clearly what he is in a platoon player. His OPS when he plays second base, so when he is just being overexposed left-handed pitching, is in the 900s. And as of last week, it was actually over 1,000. I imagine it got better last night. When he plays third base, as of yesterday, it was 514. And that's when he's playing right-handed pitching. That's when he's filling in for Alec Bohm. So he is very clear. Like, there is the everyday Edmundo thing. I love the guy. He's fun to watch. Against right-handed pitching, the whole reason of having him out there is not really existing. He is a perfect platoon player.
No, but, I mean, at this point, I get it, though. He's brought something to them. Like, there's something with him that this team lacks when he's not in the lineup more. A little fire, a little hustle. I don't know.
He brings energy. And, like, that was, I forget who wrote it, like, just that, like, at some point leading up to the trade deadline, there was, like, a little Sosa, because I was like, there's no way I think it might have been Nightingale. It might have been someone that had just had in there as the notes. It's like, if they could reshuffle the deck, could this be a thing? I was like, don't.
No.
I think they love him.
Yeah,
I think he's a very popular guy within that clubhouse, and you see the energy he brings every time he plays. Cool with him being a platoon guy. Don't need the overexposure of him.
And I know we've kind of had this talk all week. We've talked about platoons. I think they're going to break away from platoons, except for second base, as we get closer to the finish line here. I think it's going to be Bader in center, Marsh in left, and Casty in right. Full time. Kepler being like the super,
Kepler getting 1 or 2 days a week.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's if you're not going to bring up Crawford, that feels like the way to go. I still think we're waiting to see August 15th. If they don't have him up here by like 16th, 17th, like when they start going through roster moves, like if there is not a press release we get with Ross being DFA'd, Nola returning, or someone going to the injured list, Nola returning, and then like Kepler Crawford scenario, then we're not going to get it.
I don't think they're bringing Crawford up at all. I'm just starting to get that sense, and I'm surprised, but they're not.
I'm waiting until rookie eligibility is exhausted, until we get past that day of August 15th, where he wouldn't be on the roster for more than 45 days. That'll be my benchmark. That's what I mean. So I think by the end of this week, by the time we come on the air Monday, we'll have an answer, in my eyes.
I mean, he may be a, quote, September call-up.
Yeah, but
there's only 1 or 2 anymore. They don't do the full 40
and
like they used to.
He's going to spend time around the club. He's not playing every day. The only way he has everyday play is if he gets here in August.
He'll be a pinch runner.
All right, let's real quick. We're going to go back to the phones. Before I do that, let you know you're listening to WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibility, asking you the question. Does this NL East race feel over to you? Greg from Bethlehem's going to answer that for us now. Greg, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Morning, gentlemen. for me, it's a little too early to plant the flag for the East. But encouraging sign, I think, is that the bottom of the order is heating up. We need the top of the order to score, but we can't win it only with the top of the order in all likelihood.
Right.
So I think it's a great sign that the bottom of the order is heating up, and hopefully will carry on. I would like to see, when do we play the Mets next?
A week from, it's basically in 2 weeks.
I mean, I would probably reserve comment to see how that series goes, just because of past history of going cold quickly. But I'm encouraged by the bottom of the lineup heating up.
But Greg, let me go back on the Met thing. For the Mets to make that series in 2 weeks relevant, they have to turn it around now. And the way they're playing right now, I don't know if it's a given that they're going to turn around against the Mariners over the weekend, or, over the weekend, or to be honest, the Braves even.
Oh, this is the chance to do it right now.
I mean, it may be, by the time the Phillies play the Mets, maybe, it'll be all locked up and the Mets will be just in free fall. I'm hopeful for that. But for me to feel confident in the Phillies, I would like to see them extend their lead through the Mets series.
And I understand that, Greg, and I feel like I appreciate the phone call. I feel like
Thanks,
2 weeks from today is the game I'm going to. So, okay, the Tuesday night, the 26th, up there.
Get your bets in.
If I walk out of there,
mush.
I'm 9 and 4 on the I'm 9 and 4 on the season. 9 and 4 on the season.
How many games that really matter?
What's that even supposed to mean? I watched a walk-off catcher's interference.
Some games matter more.
Have you been there for a walk-off catcher's interference?
No, I was here.
That's right. I've seen that.
You weren't in the crowd in 1979 or whenever that
71.
As he said that. I've seen them beat the Padres. I've seen them beat the Red Sox. I've seen them beat the Giants twice. Giants aren't anything anymore, but
no.
You get the point.
You saw it before Buster Posey probably overextended.
Yeah, that's fair. I saw them in April when they beat that meant something back then. That did mean something back then. But if I walk out there 2 weeks from today with them having won 2 games in New York already going into the third game of that series, I'm probably coming back from that trip Wednesday morning like, yeah, all right.
It's almost strange. It's almost strange to say this. Phillies just have to get 1 in New York at that point. If the lead is 6 or so, get 1 in New York.
Yeah, because then you come back still 5.
5.
I don't know, because we said 5-2 earlier. That would mean that if they lost 3 or 4 at home, then that would make the division interesting again, wouldn't it? They pick up 2 at home.
They won't lose 3 or 4. The Mets on the road are awful.
They are awful on the road. I mean,
we talk about the advantage that the Phillies have had, and the Phillies have been like a real, a homestander in a sense of they've done really well at home, and they've played 500 ball until this week on the road. The Mets are way worse. Mets are, I think, 8 or 9 below 500 on the road.
Yeah, it's not pretty.
No.
But, yeah, they're good at home. So if they take 2 or 3 up there, let's plant the flag right now.
Mets are 25 and 34.
2 weeks from today, we're going to have a really good idea of what happened.
Yeah.
We'll have a really good... Until then, I reserve the right to change my mind.
Until then, what if the Mets continue on this losing streak and it gets up to, 7, 8? Even going into that series, you're still concerned?
See, that's why I think it's at a breaking point, because I think this could continue. Especially over the weekend against the Mariners. I mean, the Mariners are battling for a division title. The Mariners need every one of these games.
Brandon Nimmo still thinks they're battling for a division title up there in New York.
Yeah, one's one
Having
game
to answer questions about that right now, that tells you they're in a bad spot.
And this time last year, the Phillies were answering questions about the fact they hadn't played well in weeks.
And by the way, the Mets also have to play in that goofy Little League Classic nonsense where they have to get on an airplane and slide down hills and deal with all the.
Well, they don't have to go to London this year because London's the big killer. Everyone knows that.
Maybe Williamsport will be their rallying point this time.
All right, let's go out to East and talk with Rick. Rick, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, guys, good stuff. The Mariners loaded up more than the Padres did offensively. They have a lot to prove, and they have to win that division out there. And, Sosa, let me tell you what Sosa brings. Listen, you're not going to compare Pete Rose to Sosa, but Sosa brings that energy that Pete Rose used to bring, the enthusiasm. Everything he does offensively or defensively, he celebrates. It's but not a rub it in your face celebration. The guy looks like he's really enjoying baseball. But I think the one thing that's interesting that most people are not talking about is how to construct this roster for the postseason. Because if you think about it, you don't need 13 pitchers like they used to need when you have starters that go into the 6th and 7th inning. I do believe.
But Rick, you have to plan as if a starter doesn't go, and you don't want to burn the back end of your bullpen in a game.
I get that. But everybody's penciling Nola in as being on this roster. We don't know what Nola is yet because Nola's got to do it at the major league level again. Not again, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
So it's I think Taiwan Walker, and I can't believe I'm even saying this because my nickname for him was Taiwan Walker. He really deserves a roster spot the way he's been pitching, but the way this starting pitching is, we've never had starting pitching like this that goes into the 6th and 7th inning. So I don't know if we need as many pitchers as we used to need versus needing more bench players because these supporting role outfielders are like a soap opera.
Rick, I will tell you, if there's a guarantee I will make in life, Aaron Nola is going to be on the postseason roster. They're not going to do their guy dirty. They're not.
We're up against it here, Rick, and I appreciate the phone call there. The one thing that sticks out, you're going to carry the maximum amount of pitchers you can.
Yeah.
I understand.
Just an emergency.
Yeah, I understand. You think these guys going 6-7. The hook is a little quicker in the postseason.
Yes, it is.
When it means a little bit more, pull them a little bit sooner.
These guys are not going 7 every night.
Yes.
Not.
Also, so we can debate all offseason long whether or not it was correct to pull the guy at that time, right?
Why'd you pull Wheeler? It's going up against Alvarez.
All right. Speaking
Flashback.
of reverse splits.
There's reverse splits.
Speaking of things that exhaust me. That quarterback
It's something
ranking.
about this chair that brings that up.
Something that exhausts me. Going to those quarterback rankings. We're going to do it.
No.
We're going to talk about it.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
We're going to talk about it. It's out there. People are engaging with it. We're going to talk about it. We're not going to make it the whole show. I also want to hear what Colin Cowherd had to say because I just found the comparison entertaining. I'll be honest with you.
You just want to play the Cowherd clip. Let's be honest.
A little bit. I want to play it. Also, Colin,
I got vetoed on a Mad Dog clip.
11:25. Has nothing to do with Philadelphia. 11:25. We got the Hall of Famer Jason Stark talking Phillies with us. Stay tuned. This is the Midday Show. He's Kevin Cooney. I'm Ray Down here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
The summer's here.
the world talking on the phone because of you, Kevin Cooney. I'm Ray Dunn,
I try.
hanging out with you. Brendan Gunn producing the show. So I appreciate that about you. You've helped me get over the phone call.
Save it for my obituary, okay?
Oh, jeez.
Now, if you get a
dark,
I know.
if you get a pizza now, are you calling for it or are you just going on the old app?
Well, so I worked at a pizza shop, so I'm used to the phone call. Like I was on the other side of that phone call for a while.
I can't do that call.
I gotta admit, I use the app now.
I sometimes use the app, but I mean, I used to have it. Cappy's Pizza. This is Ray. Yeah.
This is Patrick.
No, this is Patrick. All right. Moving gears to the Eagles here, and we're going to touch on it. We're going to end up with the same exact stance on Jalen Hurts as we had back in February, but it's in the content cycle.
Can I boycott this?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
If you don't want to talk, turn off the mic. That's perfectly fine. Brendan Gunn, get ready. You're the second mic for this segment. All right. The Athletic came out with their quarterback tiers list. Believe it or not, much like the other tiers list, they asked people about it, and this is how it ended up running. Tier 1, believe it or not, was Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. The only one that was interesting there is Matthew Stafford getting the jump to 5 there into that first tier. Jalen Hurts into that second tier. And if you want to go with where he ranked, he was tied with C.J. Stroud for 9th in a list that makes a whole lot of sense.
Justin Herbert was ahead of him.
Yes, Herbert, Goff, Daniels, same ones that everyone's tried to shove the idea that they're better than him at you all off season. And we have done a great job, myself included, of falling for the bait every time. Colin Cowherd saw this list from The Athletic and had his own take on why this is the case. Take a listen to his explanation for why Jalen Hurts is tier 2.
This is where NFL executives and I totally agree. In their tiers, 4 tiers, they have Jalen Hurts, 9th, 10th best quarterback. And fans view quarterbacks through the lens of, hey, they win. Well, Trent Dilfer and Nick Foles have Super Bowl rings, and Dan Marino doesn't. So this is not a knock on Jalen Hurts. He's not as tall as you'd like. He's about the same size or shorter than Brock Purdy. And Brock Purdy last week went on a podcast and said, 40% of the time, I can't see who I'm throwing to. And the other thing is, and this is just so obvious, last year in the bye week, the people who know him best said, we'd be better off throwing less. That's a tell. So some quarterbacks in this league are Taylor Swift. They're leading the entire tour. Most quarterbacks in this league are the Spice Girls. They're part of an ensemble. Jalen is part of an ensemble.
So in the way that he breaks it down, like the way this breaks out, tier 1, I could totally understand 4 of those names being above Jalen Hurts. Jackson, Allen, Burrow, Mahomes. This is not like a brand new revelation. I understand. I'm looking at you, talking to you, that you've decided this segment's not for you. So
tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
I can understand if that tier 2 for you is beyond those 4 guys. I can understand putting him in tier 2. I can't understand putting him behind the guys that you've listed. At this point, Matthew Stafford is absolutely a Spice Girl. He's good, but they have talent around him. Look at the wide receivers he had. Look at the running back that he had. They have talent around him. He is probably the greatest offensive mind in the game right now. Yeah. Maybe he or Shanahan. Like, that's also something that doesn't get factored in the equation. The players went to tell the coaches what they should do offensively because, in part, those coaches are not quite to the standard that some of these other quarterbacks have. He also lists out the height there for Jalen Hurts. Part of what they could do offensively is because of his skill set. I am sorry he's not 6'5". Like, I can't...
He wouldn't be the same quarterback at 6'5".
Right. That gets a whole different world. Part of what they could do running the football is because you have to respect what Jalen Hurts could do with his legs, which allowed Saquon Barkley to have quite a tremendous season. And also part of what they do with that offensive line, as good as it is, Jalen Hurts being able to move around and quarterbacking the style that he does take away from the number of sacks allowed, does take away from the number of just, I guess, negative plays that you see. There are times he holds on to the football too long. They need to get better in rhythm passing. But this constant conversation has exhausted me to the point. You have those top 4. Hurts has won. He's done something that a lot of those guys haven't done, and he's done plenty of things in big games where other guys on that list have not. Herbert threw, 4 interceptions in the postseason? Like, he had the best defensive football. People forget that. Number points per game wise. All he had to do was not screw it up. Guess who also is being told this offseason all they had to do was not screw it up? Hurts. What didn't he do? Screw it up.
Answer me a question, okay? Who would you have rather had, Tom Brady or Peyton Manning physically, just the physical skills.
Manning.
Joe Montana or Dan Marino? You'd rather have Joe
Marino.
Montana?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Four rings than none.
Well, career, yeah.
Yes.
Career-wise.
And his ability in big games should matter.
I thought we were going
No.
Still
his ability in big games should be a X factor in all these conversations.
Right. We're arguing the same side of this argument.
No, yeah, we are. Which is why, like, putting C.J. Stroud. I haven't seen C.J. Stroud in a really big game yet.
Right.
I haven't seen. I've seen Justin Herbert in playoff games, and he's been awful. Like, the fact that they're ahead of him is ridiculous. You want to tell me? Honestly, I think Lamar is almost an insult.
Lamar is so talented that gets overlooked. And also, I think the Mahomes factor of being in his conference gets overlooked.
Maybe.
Mahomes and Allen.
I would agree with that. Okay, that's fair.
That's what
That's
keeps
more
him in
fair
tier
for
one.
Allen, though. Lamar, he doesn't put his team on his back against Mahomes like Allen does. He just comes up short.
I also blame some of that coaching staff because I feel like in big games they get away from what's worked for them.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's in a way to showcase what they want Lamar Jackson to be instead of just letting him excel at what he does well.
Just because you have more physical talent doesn't make you a better quarterback.
Correct. Which, again, Herbert, 4 interceptions in the postseason this year. Goff. If Goff scored 3 points in the Super Bowl in Philadelphia, everyone in this town would have bought him a plane ticket. American Airlines website would have crashed because he would have bought so many tickets to get out of town.
With that best offensive mind of a generation, Sean McVay, same guy that you were just talking about.
So, all right, that's all we got. We got baseball coming back next. Jason Stark joins us talking about the Phillies. A lot to get into with them. Excited for that. Alongside Kevin Cooney, I'm Ray Dunn. Here on Middays on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Another day, another Schwarbomb. I'm Brendan Gunn with your Fanatic Sports Update. The Phils got another win last night, defeating the Cincinnati Reds by a score of 4-1. Taiwan Walker continues to give the Phils solid outings as he allowed just 1 run in 6 innings pitched last night. Kyle Schwarber hit his 42nd home run of the season last night as well, which is tied for the most in the National League with Shohei Ohtani. Phils run it back against the Reds tonight. Ranger Suarez is on the mound. First pitch is tonight at 6:40. The Eagles avoided a major crisis with the Landon Dickerson injury. Adam Schefter, among others, report that Dickerson is set to have a minor procedure on his right meniscus in the coming days. Dickerson is now considered week to week with the goal of being back on the field for week 1 against the Cowboys on Thursday, September 4th. After a day off yesterday, the Eagles hit the practice field again today for training camp. Then tomorrow, they begin their joint practices with the Cleveland Browns before a matchup on Saturday for the preseason game number 2 between the Browns and the Birds as well. This update was brought to you by Batteries Plus. Remember, when you had a guy, someone who could fix anything, they still exist at Batteries Plus. Their expert knowledge on batteries will have you on your way and good to go in no time. Batteries Plus, the experts in charge. I'm Brendan Gunn, and you're listening to the home of the best Birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
My favorite things every week is the opportunity to hear this man talk about baseball and jump into all the wild things going on in the sport that we love. He is the Hall of Famer from The Athletic and the Starkville podcast, Jason Stark, joining us on the Comcast Business Hotline. Jason, how are you today?
Ray, Kevin, I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm good, Jason.
Doing well. And I want to start this week with just the show that we've been treated to in Kyle Schwarber, and I know that is where our stat of the week goes. So, Jason, what do you have for us on that regard?
You know, Ray, I sometimes wonder if we've started to take Kyle Schwarber for granted.
A little bit.
I've dropped a few Babe Ruth comps on this station over the years, so I'm going to give you another one with the stat of the week. Kyle Schwarber, up to 173 home runs now as a Philly, 3 years and like 4 months. You want to know how many other players in history have ever joined a new team and hit that many bombs in their first 4 seasons with that team? Here come the two names. You've heard of them. How about Mark McGwire and Babe Ruth? That's all. 191 for McGwire, 189 for the Babe. I should mention that David Ortiz and A-Rod also hit 173 exactly in their first 4 years, but Schwarber's going to knock them off the list like maybe by the end of the day. So how about that group, and how about that stat?
It's absurd.
It is.
It's an insane stat. I love always looking at how he compares to Phillies history just because it's fun to think in 3.5 years, a little bit beyond that. He's hit more home runs than all but 13 people who have worn the Phillies uniform, and this organization's been around for how many years at this point?
Right. For any 4-season span, the only guy who's hit more is Ryan Howard. And like if you go back and look at Ryan Howard 2006 to 2009, he hit 198 homers. That freaking guy almost averaged 50 homers a year for 4 years. But to think that Kyle Schwarber has hit more home runs over any 4-year period than Mike Schmidt ever hit, that blows me away.
Which leads to the question, we played a Ben Verlander clip earlier saying that there is no National League MVP race, that it's Shohei Ohtani, and that's it. Now, obviously, Ben has, posters of Shohei in his walls. But let me ask you, as somebody who has done the voting on this for a long time, how serious a race do you think this is for National League MVP right now?
Yeah, that's a really good question. At the All-Star break, I actually had Wheeler ahead of Schwarber with Ohtani and Pete Crow Armstrong at 1-2. I think Schwarber is now 3 at the worst, maybe 2. I mean, PCA's having a rough month. So, let's compare Ohtani and Schwarber, which is fun. It's DH versus DH, right? We never had any DH win one till last year when Ohtani did it. So here's where it gets tough for Schwarber, because Ohtani has the same number of homers. He has almost twice as many steals. If you look at the slash line, Ohtani's higher across the board, higher average, higher on base, higher slugging percentage. Oh, and also, by the way, Ohtani pitches. So I'm not sure how anybody competes with that unless people get tired of voting for Ohtani every year, which this could happen.
Well, and there is a fatigue factor with this, correct? In some ways. I mean, we saw it with Bonds a little bit, too.
We used to see it I think we've seen it with Trout. I mean, Mike Trout probably should have won every year, and there were a couple of years there he finished second. So it's not impossible that people get tired of voting for Ohtani and start looking for somebody else. If they do, and you look at Schwarber, he is leading the league in homers and RBIs, obviously tied with Ohtani in homers. I'm sure you guys know this, but the only 2 Phillies who have led the league in homers and RBIs in any season in the last 90 years, I'll let you guess because you'll get it.
Ryan Howard's one, right?
Yeah, Mike Schmidt's the other.
Schmidt's
That's
the other,
all.
right.
There's some MVP trophies on the shelf of both those guys. So I do think Schwarber is in the conversation. I just don't know how he competes with Ohtani.
It's got to be the fatigue. That'll be what gets him. I think voter fatigue is our best case, guys.
Or honestly,
you guys sound fatigued.
or if the Dodgers maybe lose the NL West, that could be a possibility too. If the Phillies win the division,
they're only up a game now
right.
on the Padres.
Go Padres! Voters get tired. That is our official stance. That's the platform we're rolling with here. Now, you mentioned Zach Wheeler at the All-Star break being ahead of Kyle Schwarber in your conversation. Just watching what you got from Wheeler the other day, knowing the velocity is down, and last week you said, watch what the Phillies do, not what they say when it comes to Zach Wheeler's health. Where are you at this week with what you've seen from Zach Wheeler and what you know about the inner workings of his health right now?
Yeah, I'm still not on board with he's fine, he's normal, the words they've been throwing out there. When I watched Zach the other day, I did not think that it was just about velocity. I've never seen him miss his spot by that much, especially early in that start. Some of those pitches that he would yank to the glove side, it's just not him. We've seen him do his thing for a long time, and I honestly don't know if it's fatigue, which is the word that Ricky keeps using, or whether it's something more. I just know he doesn't look physically comfortable on the mound in a way we're used to seeing him. I'm just going to be really interested to see how they handle this. Rob Thompson all but said last night that he's probably going to go to a six-man rotation when Aaron Nola comes back, which could be this week. And is that the answer? I will stick to the one thing that I said last week, which is managing the innings and managing the fatigue of this rotation is the single most important issue for this team between now and October.
When you look at the NL East race, and it's obviously going to a 6-game lead in a span of 8 days, from a half game back is what the Phillies were going to that Sunday night game against Detroit. One, is it over? Two, how big a trouble are the Mets in your mind right now?
It's amazing that if you go back to June 12th when the Mets were 21 games over, that's more games over 500 than the Phillies are now, right? Since then, the Mets have a worse record than the White Sox, right? Does that blow your mind or what? And some of that's misleading. I know that, but it's really hard for me to convince myself that they're as good as they were last year. Their lineup the last 2 months has been Soto and Nimmo fine. Everybody else brutal. Their rotation has an ERA of about 5 over the last 2 months, and they're really grasping for how to put that together. You stack up rotations, Mets versus Phillies. Stack up lineups in their current state, Mets versus Phillies. Tell me there's a case that the Mets are better right now. I don't see it.
No. As someone that all season's been worried about the Mets, it's really hard to feel yourself worried about the Mets in terms of the way they match up on paper.
The Phillies are benefiting the Mets right now by being the Reds last night and kind of keeping the Reds a little bit at arm's length here. So.
Yeah, I could see the Reds catching the Mets.
Yeah, I could too.
And Terry Francona working his magic. You think I'm crazy?
No, not at all. I think that's likely, to be honest, at this point.
While we're in this conversation about these two teams, one of the things I think out of the deadline we talked about was just how much the Mets put into their bullpen. Now, the Phillies obviously go and get Duran, and that's been tremendous, but it's been kind of the stabilizing force of having him there that's made this bullpen look a lot better in this stretch. Again, small sample size for a bullpen, but what have you seen from this bullpen since the addition of Duran that's kind of allowed it to pitch this well and find its groove over the last 2 weeks or so?
Ray, I came away from that first game that Duran pitched thinking, this guy is a team-changing figure. And nothing I've seen since has swayed me from that. People used to dread the ninth inning around here. Now nobody can wait for the ninth inning. He's the first closer in the history of the franchise to show up and rip off 1, 2, 3 saves in his first 3 appearances in a row as a Philly. And because he's so good, and he's been so good, he's changed the roles, and he has lightened the loads of everyone else. So since his first game, their bullpen ERA is 1.63. It's the third best ERA in the sport, and they have by far the best strikeout to walk ratio. It's over 5-1. And then think how big the circle of trust feels all of a sudden. You know, it's Duran, Strom, Kirkring, but now, David Robertson is clearly the plan is for him to work his way into it. Jose Alvarado is back next week, throwing great in AAA. Like if Jordan Romano just has to be the 6th inning guy, does that put him in it? I think he might be if he's only going to have to pitch occasionally in that role. So I don't think this bullpen is the equal of the Padres, but as I said last week, they're telling you now what their formula to win is. When you have a rotation this good, you're going to lead a lot because you just give up fewer runs than everybody else. And when you hold the lead in October, those are must-win games. They haven't won those games in October the last 3 years. Don't you feel like they're better set up to win them now? I do.
Yeah, I do. And I think the slotting thing, and look, when this team's been good, they've always had slotting in their bullpen. Going back, if you want to go back to 80 when Tugger was at the back end, then it was Ron Reed and all that. If you want to go back to 08 with Lidge and Madsen and Romano and all that. So, yeah, they needed to get some stability. I think that's the one other part of it. Let me ask you right now, if you look at the landscape of this sport, what team right now that is in playoff contention or in a playoff spot is in the biggest trouble? Because there's 2 up north that appear to be really leaking oil.
I think it's certainly the Mets would be number 1 on my list. I know the Yankees have a slimmer lead. The Yankees only have a 1-game lead now over Cleveland, but the Guardians are so offensively challenged. They have found ways to score over these last few weeks, but their margin for error as an offense is just so much smaller than anybody else's. So I feel like the Yankees will hold on. That they're, most of their issues have corresponded to this time when Aaron Judge has been banged up, and he's going to hit. They're going to stabilize that bullpen. They've got 4 closers out there. I think they'll figure that out. I laid out why I think the Mets are nowhere near as good as they were last year. So who's in more trouble than them? I don't know if there's anybody.
See, I wanted something from Jason today to make me feel like this division was over, and I got exactly that today.
Yeah.
That this conversation has made me think, well, maybe I'm ready.
Jason and I agree on this. It's not over, but it's damn close to being over, I think is what we're both saying, right?
Yeah, and the Phillies have also moved into bye position, too.
Yeah.
In the first round, which I think is helpful. As we get closer, we can discuss, what side of the draw do you want to be on? Do you want to be on the Brewers-Cubs side of the draw, or do you want to be on the Mets-Padres-Dodgers side of the draw? The Brewers are incredible right now, but I still feel like, wouldn't you rather go Cubs-Brewers early than have to deal with Dodgers, Padres, Mets, whatever combination that's in?
Right now, I'm right there with you on that one. I love you teasing future hits and what we're going to get into in those hits. I like this down the line. I like that from you, Jason.
Yeah, anytime.
Now, one final thing for me here, and it would not be a weekly hit here if we don't address the outfield, because I feel like every week that I talk to you, either off the air or on the air, we're talking about this outfield. Castellanos sits for the hard turf in Texas over the weekend. Obviously, your colleague Matt Gelb at The Athletic had talked about the potential of Castellanos' playing time being a little bit lesser than what it had been, given he played 162 last year and has been an everyday fixture in this lineup. What do you see in the future of that Phillies outfield going forward?
It's a great question. Just looking at this from afar, and again, watching what they do as opposed to what they say, it still feels like the manager hasn't quite settled on that yet. He's trying to play everybody right now. I mean, Weston Wilson's over 400 this month. Brandon Marsh is over 400 this month. So he has all the justification he needs to play those guys. Harrison Bader he's a true center fielder. He gives them energy, attitude, defense. There's every reason to play him. So what has that meant for Nick? All of a sudden we've seen Nick sit out a game. We've seen Rob take him out for defense now in 2 other games. That's a big change to me. I think it's obviously going to depend on production, defense, data. They're definitely looking at data. I'm not 100% convinced that the reason he didn't play over the weekend was just about that turf. There might have been some other stuff going on.
If you didn't sense it in my voice there, I don't believe that for a second, Jason.
Right. So again, watch what they do. Don't just listen to what they say. They're much better defensively when it's Bader in center, Marsh in left, and anybody else, right? So it's an interesting situation. I think it's fluid. They've got a lot of guys swinging the bat right now. Marsh, Stott, Wilson are combined 426 this month. Add in JT, it's 375 for those 4 guys. Look down at the bottom, and you'll find Nick Castellanos below 200 this month.
I wish my coaches told me that hard turf was the reason why I wasn't playing. That's what I wish when I was growing up.
Jason, what do you think the possibility is that he could blow the locker room up, though? He's not a guy who takes sitting lightly.
Yeah. Look, Rob will never bench Nick completely. He'll never do that. But, Kevin, I'm just saying, you can chip away at Nick Castellanos' playing time here and there and justify it in subtle ways to where you can sell it to him, I think. I could be wrong. He's a different kind of guy. I'm not telling you anything you don't know.
Right.
Well, Jason, we appreciate you, as always, taking the time this week to join us, and I'm sure I can guarantee one thing. We'll be talking about the outfield again.
Oh, and quarterback rankings. It's like the talk show staples.
Yeah, hey, which tier do you have them in, Jason?
Yeah, right. If Jalen Hurts plays more outfield than Nick Castellanos, we'll have a conversation.
Oh, Jason, always great talking with you. Look forward to talking to you down the line.
Thanks, Jason.
Enjoyed it, guys. Thanks.
Yep.
Jason Stark on the Comcast Business Hotline.
My favorite Lincoln grad.
I love talking with Jason. If you can't tell by how long we spoke to Jason,
yes.
I always enjoy talking with him. We come back, react to that. A couple of just smaller Phillies nuggets that I want to address and get into.
Yes.
That aren't necessarily the big picture, but the Castellanos thing there.
It's a little. That's a nugget.
Very interesting.
That's a nugget.
We'll be back to break it down coming up here on the Midday Show.
Do you feel unfulfilled? Do your afternoons feel like round?
Hour here on the Midday Show. I'm Ray Dunn alongside Kevin Cooney. Brandon Gunn producing the show. Always appreciate talking with the Hall of Famer Jason Stark, and a lot he gave us there.
Yeah.
But real quick, and we're going to get to the Phillies Nuggets in a second. You see this, David Justice?
I'm almost afraid, but go ahead.
So, David Justice, I guess, went on All the Smoke with Matt Barnes, and they were getting
an athlete podcast? Get out of here.
Yes, no, there is if. In case you were wondering what Matt Barnes had to say about life, he's got plenty of it to tell you. He's got a lot to say.
He's got a lot to say.
And
does he know Mike the Switch?
I've seen plenty of All the Smoke clips. I can't say that a lot of these player podcasts I consume in the clips that comes out and get aggregated.
Yeah.
This is one that did, because he was asked about being married to Halle Berry, which there's a number of things that go wrong in here. First, he says, she asked me to marry her after knowing me for 5 months. I didn't know if my heart was really into it. I didn't want to make her feel bad and say no. I was just in the moment. It caught me off guard. We're getting along. We're vibing. Again, we're only 5 months in. We're still in the honeymoon stage. I'm sorry, dude. If Halle Berry ever came up to me...
Months or minutes?
Halle Berry, if she said, hello, marry me, I'd be like, all right, yeah. Where do I sign? I don't... But okay, David Justice, that's also a massive, she was way more into it than I was. I feel like every man has experienced ego trip of she was way more into it than I was. I wasn't that into it. One, that was ridiculous. But then he goes on to say, months into their marriage, this is the quote, I'm looking at my mom. I'm a Midwest guy. So at my mom, I'm thinking a wife at the time should cook, clean, and I'm thinking, okay, if we have kids, is this the woman I want to have kids with and build a family with? And at that time, as a young guy, she don't cook, don't clean, don't really seem like motherly. You're an idiot. I just want to, Dave Justice, for a lot of reasons, you're an idiot. You're a moron. Halle Berry wouldn't cook, wouldn't clean. She would be treated as a goddess walking in my home.
You're a Major League Baseball player. She's an A-list actress. Why are you cooking and cleaning to begin with? You can literally pay people to do that when you got it that good.
Yeah, I understand. It's the 90s. It's not the same baseball money that they got right now, but
still pretty damn good.
Good money. She's got good money. What do you... Oh, yeah, I don't know. Moron of the week. Moron of the lifetime, really, right there. Fumbling Halle Berry.
Yeah, she was way more into me. Yeah. A solid but not, a spectacular player.
And now the only reason he's making headlines is bringing up her name.
Right. Halle Berry, still very famous. David Justice? Oh, yeah, David, he was good. Yeah, I remember him. Yeah. Halle Berry? Yes. So I just want to be very clear here. If Halle Berry wants someone to cook and clean for her,
Ray has a crush on Halle Berry. That's what this all comes down to.
Hallelujah.
This just comes down to just utter shock. Some men are just really dumb, and he falls under the really dumb category. Everyone has a buddy in their life that you're like, yeah, you screwed that one up big time. And it's like, you just were so caught up in your own head at you screwed that one up. This man screwed it up big time. Fumbling Halle Berry is one of the dumbest things you could have. That's all. I just wanted to address that. I saw that on social media.
Has he remarried or anything?
Yeah, he is. He's remarried. He's got kids. It's a long time.
Oh, so he found somebody who can cook, clean,
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
I'm sure that probably in his pickup line, I'm sure that went over well. Hi, I want you to basically just hang around, cook and clean.
Yeah. Don't be Halle Berry.
Don't be Halle Berry.
That's a terrible, terrible thing. Oh, what an idiot. All right. So moving off of that, back to the actual Phillies issues at hand. Talking to Jason Stark here. The outfield thing with Castellanos, we're going to continue to watch. And I look forward tomorrow to hearing.
I'm stunned it's gotten to this point. I am, because when I saw, and I love Matt. Matt knows I love him. I mean, we were on the beat a long time.
Yeah, I love when he tweets at you. It's one of my favorites. Love the back and forth.
When Matt said that, I'm like, come on, they're not going to, because I do think that Castellanos will blow up that room if he's not playing every day. But it's pretty clear they're at least exploring the idea. Now, maybe that's a way to keep Kepler still in the mix. I don't know, but it's happening in a way I never anticipated.
No, I never thought we'd get to the point, especially just how much he respects the veterans in that clubhouse. I feel like
this also tells you one more thing. He's gone in the offseason. He is gone in the offseason.
It tells me two things. I think one guy is gone in the offseason, and one guy knows if he doesn't put this team in a position to win, he's gone for sure.
Yeah.
This is the move of a manager that knows my fate is decided by how far we go, and I need to put us in the best position to go as far as possible.
I'll be honest. I think in 2026 is more likely Rob Thompson's here than Nick Castellanos at this point.
Ooh,
No, I do. I think absolutely.
That's tough for me, actually, because it's basically a faith question in the team. Because if the team goes far, Thompson stays. Castellanos is a question mark. If the team doesn't go far, Castellanos likely plays a part in why they don't. Like, Castellanos' value is still at the point where I don't know if they can.
How are they going to?
How much are they going to?
How are they going to fire a guy who's made the playoffs 4 straight times?
If they lose in the wild card divisional round, I don't think he's back.
Oh, I think that's happened now. I think he's past that. I think he's going to be back.
Oh, you think he's okay?
And there's another reason why, and I hate saying it this way. 1, he's under contract. 2, with the All-Star game here next year, they'll say he's owed the right to be there as part of the coaching staff of the All-Star game. That's why Jim Fregosi came back in '96.
I guess.
I'm telling you, he is not getting fired this year.
All right, and I see Colby in the YouTube chat. They're not firing Topper. Let it go. I don't want them to. Let's be very clear about that. This is not I want him to do. I want them to move on from the manager. I've been the Topper guy.
There's no way in my mind that Casty's back. None. Okay. They'll eat the salary and let him go.
Ooh,
that's a take right there.
They'll pay the salary. No, they'll pay the salary in a trade. Pay it down to get something back.
Okay, pay it down. I was going to say they're not eating all of it.
No. But they're going to eat salary to trade him.
All right, I'd prefer Thompson be here.
Okay.
I'm not saying I want to push for that. I'm just saying that I prefer. I'm just saying that I think if they don't go far, I think that's a legitimate question mark for this team. So, I mean, they were talking about, and I understand it's a little bit longer of not succeeding. It's a different situation out there in LA, but going into Game 5 last year, Padres-Dodgers, there are people legitimately saying that if Roberts didn't win that game, there are question marks about his job. I don't think it's crazy to say Thompson is under that type of pressure, given the age of this core.
Not quite there yet.
All right, fair enough. Coming up, we got, for the first time, NFL Notes at noon. So we're going to go through the league all the way across, whatever the biggest things that we got from Brendan Gunn to figure out, and we'll get back to the Phillies in the 12 o'clock hour. Alongside Kevin Cooney, I'm Ray Dunn. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phils win again. I'm Brendan Gunn with your Fanatic Sports Update. Yes, the Phils got another win last night, defeating the Cincinnati Reds by a score of 4-1. Taiwan Walker continues to give the Phillies solid outings as he just allowed 1 run last night in 6 innings pitched. Kyle Schwarber hit his 42nd home run of the season last night. That's tied for the most in the National League with Shohei Ohtani. Phils run it back against the Reds tonight. Ranger Suarez is on the mound. First pitch is tonight at 6:40. The Eagles avoided a major crisis with the Landon Dickerson injury. Adam Schefter, among others, report that Dickerson is set to have a minor procedure on his right meniscus in the coming days. Dickerson is now considered week to week with the goal of being back on the field week 1 against the Cowboys. After a day off yesterday, the Eagles hit the practice field again today. Some players are speaking to the media now. We'll let you know if anything good comes out of that. Then tomorrow, they begin their joint practice with the Cleveland Browns before their matchup this Saturday for preseason game number 2. This update was brought to you by Payday, packed with peanuts and filled with golden caramel. Payday is one hard-working candy bar, so grab one now to power you through your day. Payday Peanut Caramel Bar, get to it. I'm Brendan Gunn, and you're listening to the home of the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
WBEN and WBEN HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities.
I got to get chat whenever I'm back doing nights. Seriously. Some of this stuff on here.
Oh, yeah.
This conversation. Halle Berry gets brought up and it goes off the rails.
Yep. Nope. And that's exactly what I expected with that group.
Oh, yeah.
We love you, YouTube chat. He's
Love
Kevin
ya.
Cooney. I'm Ray Dunn. And Brendan Gunn is about to, for the first time in radio history, do a segment where we look at
Around
NFL
the NFL?
notes.
Around the NFL?
Yeah.
Not before you hit the legal, my guy.
I already did. Way to pay attention, producer.
Oh, my God. I'm so worried about these stories. Let's go around the NFL. Some sad news for Ray Dunn on this one. His guy, Jordan Love, out in Green Bay. We've had some injury concerns here in Philadelphia. Luckily, we made it out on the other side. It looks like Packers, though, today, Jordan Love was announced is going to undergo a procedure to repair his ligament in his left thumb. Luckily, not his throwing arm, throwing hand. He's expected to be week to week, though.
I mean, one.
Aren't we all?
I'm distraught in the Jordan Love thing here.
You love Jordan Love.
I do. And, it's weird because he's in the NFC, so it's like he has to succeed to an extent. Like, he can't succeed against my team. I was just big on him coming out of college, and, he's giving you the flashes, and he's one of those guys that's, glimpses. He's ultimately, if he was ranked above Hurts in anything, which he hasn't been because he hasn't had the career success to do that, he would be one of those guys where I'd be looking at, why this is an attributes thing for everyone. I just want to see him turn it into something. It's almost I want to be proven right on this guy. So that's bad. But in terms of the NFC picture, maybe the Packers stumble a little bit early. That's one less team to worry about. I mean, I don't think anyone's looking at them as someone that's going to take the crown from the Eagles now.
The USA Today thing had them as the NFC champion today.
Oh, I didn't see the USA Today thing today.
Not so fast. Not so fast.
I mean, they were a young team that brings back a lot the next year. I mean, they could be a.
They had them win the North.
I think they're a double-digit win team, and I think they're in the postseason.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think we did our top 5 NFC teams you worry about. They make my top 5 for that, for sure.
Yeah, speaking about quarterbacks and contenders in the NFC, on Sunday, Sean McVay came out and said Matthew Stafford would return to practice on Monday. Monday came, Monday went. Matthew Stafford didn't lace up those cleats, didn't put on those pads, did not put on a helmet. In fact, he was out there in street clothes again. No word today yet, but no good for him out there. Stafford and the Rams, you never wish an injury, but that bodes well for the Birds, it looks like.
This is bad. This is very, very bad.
Back injury, by the way.
I would say if he doesn't practice today, then it really becomes a concern. Then you're talking 3 days removed from when he threw 60 passes. That to me would be a major concern at that point.
Yeah, the fact he didn't practice yesterday. I mean, listen, a lot of 37-year-olds will tell you the back starts to hurt.
Yes. Yes, it does.
I don't know that for a fact, but I know.
Shut up.
Sorry, I had someone supported me on social media. I had to drive home that young thing one more time. But, I mean, he's an older quarterback with a back problem. That doesn't seem like something that just gets fixed. And the Rams, for me, are we're tier 1 in terms of concern. The longer this lingers and plays itself out there.
Stop saying tier, please.
Okay.
I'm tired of the word tier.
Top of my list of teams I was concerned about.
Thank you.
The Rams.
Very different than a tier. It's a list.
as opposed to a ramp up.
Yeah.
All right, going around the NFL a little bit more. A couple of practices out there. Some guys are holding out. Some guys are back in there. James Cook has returned to the Bills after his minor holdout, trying to get a new contract. Has not got that yet, but he's at practice today. As far as Cam Hayward out in Pittsburgh, he said he's ready to miss regular season games after signing a contract extension for 2 years last September, less than a year ago. He said he's not going to return because he can't see himself playing for this amount of money after how he played last season.
What a real-world problem Cam Hayward has, huh?
Yeah. I signed a contract that I played better than for you. You never want to go into the last year of a contract.
No. But.
And at his age, I understand from his side of things not wanting to play at that number. It's also kind of the world you put yourself in when you sign a 2-year deal.
You know the risk.
It's would you have taken a slightly lower number? You'd be upset this year with the season you had regardless, pretty much.
The only thing I would say is if the Steelers promise him, hey, for cap reasons and everything, we want you a lower deal last year, we'll renegotiate if it gets to a certain point. Then if they broke their word, okay, he has every right. But at this point, no.
Actually, if I'm him, I'm looking for the Lane Johnson, renegotiate my cap number, just throw cash at me.
Pretty much.
That's what I'm looking at. Throw cash at me like crazy.
And then we got two more stories. Not on the field, these two. We got Myles Garrett out there with the Cleveland Browns, cited for going 100 miles per hour in a 60-mile-per-hour zone. And then you got the Nevada Supreme Court out there willing to hear John Gruden's case against the NFL for collusion to get him out with those leaked emails a couple of seasons ago.
The Gruden thing's interesting because Gruden has been making noise that he wants to get back into coaching.
Mm-hmm.
It's strange. He may win this suit and lose any shot at going back in the NFL.
Oh, I see it as the opposite.
Brian Flores.
That's a little different.
I don't think he wins this suit.
I don't think so either, but
I do think this is opening up I think this is a, hey, remember me, guys? I'm not just the guy unboxing things for Barstool Sports. You know, I
got a good Temple package.
He did. He can still coach. You know, I think that's what this is. Like, hey, I want to be there. I don't think this suit is something that's going to actually go through. I think it's a, hey, look at me.
I think he's calling bluff. I think that he's basically trying to use this to get back in the league.
Right, that's what I saw.
Yeah,
I also don't think this is going to go through. I don't think it's something. I think he knows he can't win this one, but he wants to be, hey, you know, listen, Portnoy's Pizza Reviews, yeah, you know, I'm a part of that whole sideshow, but remember what I really love? That's football, man. Like,
one bite, everybody knows the rules.
Yeah. One chance.
All right, that's around the NFL for you today.
Thank you for not mentioning a certain tight end.
I didn't realize it.
I spared you guys on that one.
Something going on?
They're normal people, that Travis Kelce.
Is Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews? We have a back and forth. Oh, yeah. Coming up, we got Kevin Cooney's take on Taylor Swift's next era.
Oh, God.
And what he's looking forward to most from the next New Heights podcast. That's coming up next in the 12 o'clock hour. We're going to get back to a lot of our Phillies conversation and just some of the smaller things that I wanted to get into, whether it be roster decisions with Alec Boehm coming back.
I got something actually that may contribute to your roster conversation.
And my wild pitching theory.
Ooh.
Not theory, thought, idea, schedule. I don't know. A lot of things going through my brain right now. He's Kevin Cooney. I'm Ray Dunn. Take it to the Midday Show here, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, everybody, it's Bill.
some Phillies conversation, but I understand we've got some news in the baseball world.
Yeah, they announced the postseason schedule today, which you may go, well, what's the big deal? In the division series, the National League is the one who has the extra day off. Okay, they play all 4 games on Saturday, October 4th. They only play 2 on Sunday because they don't want to go up against the NFL. And then that's the American League this year. The National League will play on October 6th. So the Phillies basically, in theory, if they avoid the wild card, can shape it out the way the days off are, where basically you only have to use the 3 starting pitchers, even if you go to a 5-game series.
So that's huge, just in the idea of you're going to be able to use Wheeler twice, Sanchez twice. Yeah. Who that third starter would be?
Yeah, because you would go Sunday. You would probably go Wheeler on Sunday for game 1, or Saturday for game 1, and then in game 4 on Thursday. And you could use Sanchez then from Monday, maybe Friday on short rest. But
so you're not even going for a third start. Wait.
A third start. No, Monday would be game 2.
Monday's game 2. Game 4 would be Thursday. So you're not using it. So you'd use
then it would be Saturday. Right.
Saturday, yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
No worries. So, yeah, if you're just looking to plan out your fall, that's where it falls out.
Get your days off.
The first.
They don't play on an Eagle Sunday. That's one of the other headlines if you want to look at it.
That's true. They do not.
They don't play on either Sunday in the DS.
Yeah.
Or, to be honest, in the CS, I don't think.
They do a really good job of dodging that. I don't know how.
Baseball's gone like Friday, Saturday as of late for like games 6 and 7, I think.
And all of this will be over November 1st, which only really matters to someone like me whose life changes drastically on November 3rd when college basketball starts. So this is something that's just
You'll
really
miss the parade.
This is no home. Yeah. So I think I'll be all right. I think I'll be around for that week.
Phil's in 4.
By the way, November 1st, which is the one. November 1st is the day after Halloween, not Thanksgiving. There, Gunner.
My mind is scrambled.
I was prepping the show and I just went right past that. What is your problem? Like,
I'm all over the place, man.
So, for those that are unaware, I forget what we were talking about.
Temple football schedule.
Yes, that's
Temple,
exactly
Oklahoma.
what it was. Yes. So, I guess I wasn't that deep into prepping the show. I was that deep into thinking about Casey Keeler and the Owls. And
oh, God.
And Brendan Gunn. What was it? November 1st is the day.
Cut that one up, please.
November 1st is the day after Thanksgiving, is what you said?
I meant Halloween. And it just came out Thanksgiving.
Oh, all right. If you could tell. Yeah.
Had a couple too much like Thanksgiving, it sounds like.
All right. So to get to the Phillies Nuggets we got here, we're gonna get to that in a second. But Bill's been hanging on for a little bit here. Bill in Springfield wanted to get in on the Mets comparison. Bill, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks, Bill.
Hey, Kevin. 3 quick points. The first one is, longtime Mikey Miss listener, sad to see him go. But one of the first thoughts I had was Kevin Cooney and Ray Dunn would be good together. And so it's good to hear you guys together.
Appreciate it, Bill.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lame point. The second one is Halle Berry might just be crazy, right? So maybe that's why, I don't know why David Justice is doing the rounds right now, but Halle Berry might be crazy. I mean,
I'm not betting on that one. I'm betting on the opposite on that one. The guy that leaves Halle Berry is the crazy one. On that
I was
one,
just going to say, no offense, then call me crazy at that point.
Yeah.
And then third, I just don't see the Mets, even with the moves they made. Their pitching staff is, line up the top 3 versus ours. I mean, you take ours every day of the week. So I'm not surprised to see the Mets fall off, and I just don't see their starting pitching being anywhere near close enough to, kind of really making a serious run at the Phillies. And just as an aside, the Harrison Bader thing, I think it gives you a little juice. I mean, the same way you kind of feel that juice from Edmundo. His is more joyful, but like he's a professional, and I think we're gonna like it more than watching Johan Rojas trot out every day.
Well, I would like having my being able to like paint my house more than watching Johan Rojas.
Well, yeah, that was the thing at the deadline. You just improved center
Rojas
field.
is going great. Who's up?
Yeah, you improved center field. That was what you did with that move.
One number I want to give you. This is courtesy of our friends at Tankathon, which I'm not used to looking at for baseball, but hear me out. Remaining schedule. Mets, remaining 44 games, 508 win percentage. Ninth toughest in the sport. Phillies, 495, 44 games left. Win percentage, that's 21st. Which means the Phillies have a huge schedule advantage at this point.
They do. Listen, you and Jason Stark are trying to just get me to say it's over.
By the way, and we, in fairness, compared to what Jason said, hardest schedule remaining, Cincinnati, 535 is the remaining teams. Cincinnati still has 6 against Milwaukee, 3 against Toronto, 4 against the Cubs, 3 against the Dodgers, 3 against the Padres.
So the one thing I want to go back to what he said about the Mets start rotation, because, again, names on the paper, totally agree.
Yeah.
Phillies, the advantage. I don't like Manaya's matchup with this team, if that makes any sense.
No, because you saw it last year.
I saw it last year, and I think that slot throws off a lot of these guys. That's not something.
Do you worry about Senga? Do you worry about there's no?
Senga's had a nice season.
Do you worry about him in the playoffs?
But he's another one of those guys that is he top tier? No. Could I see him for a night getting to this lineup the way this lineup goes after the ball? I know they've been a big we've cut down our chase. It's gone back to where it was. They as they've started to hit.
Senga will be lined up as a number 1, right? Or David Peterson probably is the number 1.
Right.
Okay? Senga would be the 2, Manaya would be game 3.
Well, here it is again. And this is what I said the day after I came on the air following that Mets-Phillies series. I think I was on 9 a.m. that Sunday.
Right.
Series over. You lose the Wheeler start.
Probably.
I don't know if I'll feel that way this season if that were to happen. But that's the way, you should win that start. And you were winning that start last year until the bullpen imploded. I feel better about the bullpen.
I was just going to say the bullpen's not going to implode like it did last year.
Yeah.
For all those people who totally forgot how Jeff Hoffman kind of imploded this team last year in that Mets series as well.
Mm-hmm. He did.
Just a reminder.
Yep.
But everybody wanted him back. He couldn't have come back.
Yeah, I mean, and the medicals and what he was getting. I don't blame them not for going that way. Romero didn't end up working out.
Estevez.
Yeah,
there's a legitimate conversation.
Talk about that one. We'll leave that one on the side.
Yeah.
All right, coming up, we will dive into those smaller Philadelphia Phillies topics. Also, we got a 53-man roster projection from the Inquirer following the first preseason game. A few things I just want to hit on. Talk about the Birds, man. Talk about preseason football. You and I get to talk about preseason football. All three of us include talk about preseason football coming Saturday. Looking forward to that. Alongside Kevin Cooney, I'm Ray Dunn, hanging out with you here on The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Back to practice for the Birds. I'm Brennan Gunn with your Fanatic Sports Update. Yes, after a day off yesterday, the Eagles return to practice today to begin what may be their most important practice week of the season. Beginning tomorrow, the Eagles welcome the Cleveland Browns for a joint practice. Dave Zangaro joined Kincade and Salciunas yesterday and highlighted some of the reasons why these joint practices are so important.
The preseason, you have to kind of wait for situations to arise, whereas you get to put them in these situations in joint practices. You want to see red zone, guess what? You're in the red zone now. I think it's helpful, too, to see some of the camp standouts against different players.
The Eagles avoided a major injury scare yesterday with Landon Dickerson. Adam Schefter, among others, report that Dickerson is set to have a minor procedure on his right meniscus in the coming days. Dickerson is now considered week to week with the goal of being on the field week 1. The Phils got another win last night in part due to Kyle Schwarber's National League leading 42nd home run of the year, tied with Shohei Ohtani. Phils run it back against the Reds tonight. Ranger Suarez is on the mound. First pitch is tonight at 6:40. This update was brought to you by Payday, packed with peanuts and filled with golden caramel. Payday is one hard-working candy bar, so grab one now to power you through your day. Payday, peanut caramel bar, get to it. I'm Brendan Gunn, and you're listening to the home of the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Rapid Fire Phillies coming up here alongside Kevin Cooney, Ombre Dunn, Brendan Gunn producing the show. Coming up at 1 o'clock, the debut of Gunn at 1. And coming up at 1:15, me asking for Brendan Gunn to be gone. I don't know.
Careful what you wish for.
I don't know what exactly he has in store for us. Yeah, that we're going to keep moving here on the program.
Yes.
I don't know what exactly he has in store for us at 1 o'clock. I just know that if it's anything like, by the way, Zach Wheeler, this whole thing, when has it been since? When has this whole thing been since?
The All-Star break?
No. Search your mind. Search your mind.
Since the complete game.
Oh, get out of here, dude. Come on. You are not blaming one of the best moments of the season on him falling off a little bit.
Search your feelings.
That is a crazy take. I watched pitchers do it six times in a single season, 3 times in a row.
Hold on. In fairness, you remember the last dominant performance that Wheeler had like that? Was that after that Met game on Holiday Day? Mm-hmm. He struggled like 4 or 5 starts after that.
So you just
search your feelings.
What about Sanchez? What about Sanchez? He looks pretty good after that complete game.
Different makeup.
Oh my God! I cannot with you guys.
How about when Ranger is like gone deep, and then the next start he looks.
But there's a history of that.
Well, I'm just saying there's starting to be a history with Wheeler too.
Listen. I wasn't going to bring it up, but I did because I felt
his last complete game before that Sunday was that Met game on Holiday Day.
You would have yanked him then?
By the way,
no, but it just
since the start of May, there's been one instance of Christopher Sanchez giving up 4 earned runs. Honestly, giving up 4 earned runs in a game. It was the game after the complete game. I'm just saying, just throwing it out there, just tossing it around. We're gonna get back.
Ray hates fun.
Yep, I do.
Ray is Mr. Analytics.
I just
he gets over 100 pitches, he's done. Why do I sound like a bad overnight host on a weekend?
All right, we're going to move past that as well. Rapid Fire Phillies here for you. And
where's the passion?
I want to start with what they do when Alec Boehm comes back. 2 right-handed bats here that we're talking about. 2 guys that have been opposite side of platoons that you could probably argue both right now look like quad A bats. One, there is at least, I think, more feeling within the organization that he's part of something. At least Dave Dombrowski said he was part of the long-term plans. Weston Wilson, Otto Kemp, who goes down when Boehm comes back?
Weston Wilson.
Why?
I think they feel like Kemp probably could fit better in this type of role going forward. I think they feel like he has more potential to give them a bat off the bench in the playoffs. I think they've kind of seen the Weston Wilson experiment, and they don't want to go back.
So you give no credence to the fact that Weston Wilson's been hitting compared to Otto Kemp?
No, I don't think that'll matter as much.
Okay, so this is just strictly we like Otto Kemp better. Weston Wilson, you
better fielder probably too.
Yeah, I think it gives him more optionality in the field. Yeah. Not to say that either one of them is a tremendous utility guy given their glove. Mm-hmm. But all right, optionality in the field. Well, I'll give you a deal on that one. The Castellanos thing that we got into with Jason Stark. Castellanos starting 5 games a week in September, reality or fiction?
Reality. 5 out of the 7, yeah. Or 5 out of 6, yeah.
And the other ones would be Kepler in right field.
Kepler would probably take the right field spot, yeah. Assuming they don't bring Crawford up.
Right. And if that happens, if Crawford comes up,
then Kepler's DFA'd.
He's DFA'd. What's your starting outfield?
Honestly, it's probably what it is, what it should be, which will be Martian left, Bader in center, Casty in right. And that's probably the reason why Crawford's not coming up.
They have found an outfield they like?
That can happen. It's amazing.
I don't know about that. I don't know. It doesn't feel like something that's allowed. I've been watching the Phillies now for years. I don't know if it's allowed. Well, the last time they had an outfield that stuck like that had to have been just in the glory years, right?
Oh, yeah. Victorino. Although they kind of had, Ibanez, Victorino, and Worth. Yeah.
Well, Ibanez, Victorino, hence an 11 problem.
I would still say Worth.
Worth? Okay, so you're going all the way back.
Yeah.
Just because I guess it was
because they ditched Pence within literally 12 calendar months.
Well, yeah, and they also ditched Victorino in that. That was the end.
Yeah, that was not a good day.
No. A busy day for you.
In D.C., no less. Victorino knew he was getting traded.
Mm-hmm.
Pence was stunned. I saw Pence walking out.
He
of
wasn't the
National
only
Park.
one.
I remember thinking, boy, they really are expecting Don Brown to be great. That didn't work out.
No, did not work out for them.
That worked out for a month.
Yeah, mate. So this is one of my favorite. He didn't walk in that month.
I know.
Isn't that absurd? Like accidentally.
I love Dom. Dom was one of the good guys too, and it just.
It seems like a wonderful guy. It's nothing against him.
No, but it didn't work.
No, it did not. But it's insane to me. He did not walk a single bit in that month.
I'll never forget covering Dom up at the All-Star game in New York in 13. Mm-hmm. And he was like, "Oh, you staying for the home run derby?" I'm like, "No, that's okay. No, I'm going out to dinner in Midtown. Thanks."
I feel like, and this is if I get myself in there next year. But assuming I'm in there next year, I want to go to the home run derby.
I'd rather go to the home run derby than the All-Star game. Now with the new rules.
Oh,
back
fair,
then,
yeah.
Back then it was like I watched Josh Hamilton like for 45 minutes.
Yeah, that was an all-time home run derby.
Yeah, but it also went to, for those of us on deadline, it went to like 12:30 in the morning.
The anti-fun room over there.
No,
complete games, home run derbies.
Hold on,
yeah, very, very similar things.
No, I love the home run derby if I'm a fan. I was at Bonds and McGuire here in 96, which is before both of you were born. But that's a whole different point. The point is, home run derbies as a fan are great. Home run derbies, if you're at the All-Star game and like in the media, can be a pain in the rear end. That's all.
I gotcha. Fun haters.
Do you want to know the terrifying
truth? Being a
truth?
journalist makes you a fun hater.
I guess it is part of the job. You got to be objective.
Do you want to know the terrifying truth, or do you want to see me sock some dingers? All right, I'm in here for the sock and dingers part of this whole thing. Real quick, to just put a pin on the postseason conversation, because we did mention that it does not impact Sundays.
But it impacts.
Thursday night football, Eagles, Giants, October 9th is the same night as NLDS Game 4. Folks, you're going to have to make a decision. Do you want to watch Jackson Dart in one of his first 2 or 3 starts?
It'll still be Russ.
Do you want to watch Jackson Dart in one of his first 2 or 3 starts of his career? Yeah, it'll probably still be Russ.
It'll still be Russ.
Yeah, well, that makes it very easy.
Here's the
Do you want to watch Russell Wilson against this defense?
It's like World Series Game 5 and 22.
Yeah.
Would you rather watch Al Michaels say how much he would rather be watching Phillies Mets a game?
For our Philadelphia audience,
yes,
very overwhelming result down at Citizens Bank Park right now.
Al's not looking forward to that trip east. I can almost guarantee that.
Yeah, so that one on the 9th, it's Eagles at the Giants. And the Phillies likely, if they are to get the bye, would be on the road for 4. I mean, that's dependent. Could you imagine Phillies Mets Game 4 in New York and Eagles Giants in New Jersey? So it really doesn't matter at all.
Let's get to Winnebago.
I'm not going up.
It's the NJT series.
All right, coming up next, Inquirer projecting the Eagles 53. Some changes from the last time. Just a couple of things that I think stick out to this. Not so much like who's in your 53, but some of the things we're still watching as the preseason goes along. We continue on here. He's Kevin Cooney. I'm Ray Dunn. Middays, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now, a Birds Insider update on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Crisis averted. I'm Brennan Gunn with your Fanatic Sports update. Yes, the Eagles avoided a major injury scare when Landon Dickerson was carted off the field at Sunday's open practice. After a day of near panic, Adam Schefter reported the Eagles made it out with the best case scenario. Dickerson is set to have a minor procedure on his right meniscus in the next couple of days, and he's now considered week to week. His goal is to be on the field when the Eagles take on the Cowboys September 4th, Thursday Night Football in Week 1. One guy who has dealt with the same injury as Dickerson is ESPN's Damian Woody. Woody spoke about the recovery process yesterday on ESPN.
I've had this injury before. I've had this same surgery before. Literally, I've missed one game. And listen, Landon Dickerson, obviously one of the best guards in the National Football League, one of the toughest players that we have in that game.
Sounds like it won't be anything too major. We hope for a quick recovery there, and hopefully we see him on the field week 1. Kenyon Green, who was acquired in the CJ-GJ trade, is also done with this preseason with the shoulder injury, so you don't have much depth going on with the guard position right now. You got Matt Pryor out there the rest of camp, I believe. The Birds host the Cleveland Browns for a game, preseason game number 2 on Saturday, but before that, probably more importantly, they host joint practices starting tomorrow. We'll continue to keep you updated on all things Eagles coming out of the NovaCare Complex and training camp right here on The Fanatic, your home for the best Birds coverage in Philadelphia.
Welcome back in. I'm Ray Dunn alongside Kevin Cooney, Brendan Gunn producing the show, and I got an itch. All right, I'm just gonna say we're gonna need to go back to the text line. I know people were chiming in on the quarterback thing. We'll get to that in a second. All right, it's
false alarm.
It's bugging me. I need to just hear the way people interact with it.
You're going to need a 10-step program to get out.
I do.
Quarterback list.
I do.
Thing.
I just need help. I do.
Yeah, you do.
I need a lot of help.
Oh, you need a lot of help.
A lot of help. I forget what it was. Yes. Oh, it was the fantasy football league. Because if you missed this, I'm in 11.
What?
Yes. In 11 fantasy football leagues. This was a Connor and I got into this yesterday.
Do you pick each and every team, or do you go auto draft?
Oh, no, I pick. There was one this year that I forgot that they do the rookie draft so early, so that I did miss that one. But overall, because it's a dynasty one, overall, I pick everyone.
That's absurd, dude.
Yes. So I got a busy couple weeks coming up. I got broadcast schedules starting at night. I got fantasy drafts at night. My life is over for the next 6 months. Basically starting next week. But yes.
I don't really care.
We had a listener yesterday that said I need either a girlfriend or deep therapy. And I also feel like the quarterbacks thing
Hold on, wait a minute. On YouTube, they all think like you have this.
I'm not going to comment any further on my personal life.
No.
I'm not commenting any further.
No, you brought this up. You're in 11 fantasy leagues. You opened the door for this conversation.
Oh, I'm fine with the fantasy leagues. I thought you were going down the girlfriend path. And I was going to say respectful, no comment on all matters personal.
You have opened the door with your conversation about. I'm in one, by the way. It's the one here.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, it takes a lot for me to go down that road. You have 11. Why?
Why not? I can't say no. That's really the answer. If someone comes up to me, hey,
learn how to say no.
No, God. If I do that, what will become of me? The deep therapy. I need deep therapy.
Yes, you
I
do.
think we're all very clear on that one. I can't say no to people, which is, yeah. So we're going to continue to move on here into.
Will you buy me a car?
No.
Okay, there. You learned. You said it.
Well, I can say no to you there because there's no feasible way for me to buy you a car.
Yeah, because you're playing in 11 fantasy leagues.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a good point. Inflation's hit my fantasy leagues, too.
Really?
Everyone started making money in life. I don't know how that happened.
I was just going to say, the cost of what has gone up in fantasy leagues? The website fee?
No, these people, apparently my friends are making money. I lost on me. So this 53-man roster here.
Yes.
The one thing, quarterbacks, Hurts, McKee, McCord, I feel like logical. No offense, DTR. I think they wanted to develop McCord. That felt like.
Right.
McKee going to be here. I think we've established
I think that's
this.
established.
No matter what they do, no matter who calls, hang up the phone. The wide receiver, Darius Cooper, riding the high of the first game. Now everybody is all on the Cooper train here. Most important Cooper to the 2025 Eagles' success, 610-632-097. But he makes the roster here in this case. Elijah Cooks, who was the camp darling, obviously getting hurt, is the one that falls off the list for that. Avery Williams also fell off the list with the Anais Smith return in the preseason game. They like their wide receiver depth right now. I can see that changing over the next couple weeks if the guys have better couple weeks. The tight end thing was interesting because the first one the Inquirer had 4. And I thought, no way does this roster right now justify 4 tight ends sticking around. And Kylan Granson apparently has separated himself in practice. Calcaterra, I think, had a drop in that preseason game that was kind of brutal. E.J. Jenkins, I thought had a drop also that was brutal in that game. So Harrison Bryant and E.J. Jenkins end up on the outside looking in. That felt like the right move, just based on what we're seeing, what we're hearing. And then the interesting one to me comes from what they're doing with the edge rushers, because this is a conversation I want to get into coming up. If you had the opportunity to address one position on this team, would you go edge rusher, corner, or safety?
Okay.
You can only fix one before the season. I don't need a name. I just need the idea that it would be fixed. Which one would you most want to see fixed before the season? The edge rushers that the Inquirer is making this: Nolan Smith, Jalix Hunt, Azeez Ojulari, Josh Uche, and Ogbo Okoronkwo.
You're hoping he gets cut so you don't have to say the name.
Every time. I saw his name on the cut sheet like a week ago, and I was like, oh, crap, I forgot he was here. And also, I knew I was going to trip over on the air. The one that ends up on the cut list, though, is Patrick Johnson, who flashed again in the second half of a preseason game, but had a nice time and has familiarity with the organization. That edge rusher position, Fangio continues to drive home just how thin it is beyond his top 2 guys. I think they're begging one of these veterans to give them a reason to believe. But at some point, do we think they look outside to address depth there? Not necessarily a starter there, but depth there?
Yeah, probably. Probably. They'll watch the waiver wire, see who gets dispatched.
It'll be one of those, like, this guy made the team, but this guy's really going to be off the team.
Yeah, pretty
a few
much.
days in.
Can I give you an update on something we talked about earlier?
Real quick after I give you this. The cornerbacks. Eli Ricks ends up out for Jacorian Bennett.
I don't. Yeah.
And Adoree Jackson makes the roster.
No.
Right.
Yeah. No, I don't see that.
This is a world where Adoree Jackson has to just kind of play the status quo the rest of the way, I think. Because I think if there's any other reason for him not to make this team, that'll be 2 strikes against him, and 2 strikes is enough for him to be out in this one and for them to keep Ricks.
I don't think if Adoree Jackson's not the starter here, because I don't know what it'll give you special teams wise. I don't think he'll make the roster.
All right, and the safety room is what you'd expect the safety room.
Yeah.
What do you got news wise?
Matt Stafford not out with the quarterbacks at the start of Ram practice today, so out again. This is from Sarah Barshop, who is an ESPN Rams reporter.
I mean, there's the bigger picture, but you also play them the first month of the season. Like, at this point, like, can you expect to see it? It's like a month away.
I'd be interested to see if McVay talks today, because he's going to get grilled about this, I would think.
What is Rams media schedule? Coming up on the Midday Show. We carry live.
But I mean, the Stafford thing's getting to a point where it's legitimately an issue. And it does change kind of the complexion of who's team 2 behind the Eagles in the NFC.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, going into this season, that's been my team where I've continued to look at and like, oh yeah, that's going to be the team that I think contends the most with them.
See, I think they were 2 going in, and the Bucks were 3. May have to flip flop them.
I mean, they've dropped now probably 3 or 4 to me.
May not win the division. If he's hurt, they're not going to win the division.
San Fran has the easiest schedule in the NFL.
I was going to say, that caller that called last week, whoever you are, show yourself. I remember you. I might have to apologize to you. I was not familiar with Matt Stafford's back being as bad as it is.
Yeah.
Man.
Plus, that schedule's super easy for the Niners.
Old age is going to get Matt Stafford.
Except all their wide receivers are like dead at this point.
Interesting division.
It is.
Not in the way that at one point was. Oh,
that guy. There you go. Play it again there.
Shots. Explosive.
Jonathan Gannon is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of. That's what I would have in a sign if I was at the club. All right? That's how I'd pull my heart
Coaching for
in.
his job maybe this year, too.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So sad.
I know.
Coming up, Gunn at 1 for the first time. How will Brendan Gunn annoy me today? We're almost 3 hours into the program, and I've only wanted to fight him twice. He knows about one of the times. He doesn't realize about one of the other times. He's Kevin Cooney. I'm Ray Dunn, taking through middays here on The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Back to practice for the Birds. I'm Brendan Gunn with your Fanatic Sports Update. After a day off yesterday, the Birds return to the practice field today to begin what could be the most important week of training camp. Beginning tomorrow, the Eagles welcome in the Cleveland Browns for a couple of joint practices. Dave Zangaro joined Kincade and Salciunas yesterday, and he highlighted some of the reasons why these joint practices are so important.
The preseason, you have to kind of wait for situations to arise, whereas you get to put them in these situations in joint practices. You want to see red zone, guess what? You're in the red zone now. I think it's helpful, too, to see some of the camp standouts against different players.
The Eagles avoided a major injury scare yesterday with Landon Dickerson. Adam Schefter, among others, report that Dickerson is set to have a minor procedure on his right meniscus in the coming days. Dickerson is now considered week to week with the goal of being back on the field week 1. The Phils got another win last night in part due to Kyle Schwarber's National League leading 42nd home run of the year, tied in the National League with Shohei Ohtani. Phils run it back against the Reds tonight. Ranger Suarez is on the mound. First pitch is tonight at 6:40. This update was brought to you by Discover. Do you know it's accepted at 99% of the places that take credit cards nationwide? If you guessed Discover, you guessed right based on the February 2024 Nielsen report. I'm Brendan Gunn, and you're listening to the home of the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Oh, stop it.
God.
Touching you.
All right, stop. Please stop. I'm begging you. I had to work with Bill for months, okay? That I can't relive that.
God, that must have been torture.
Gosh, I had to see him there in the break.
I know.
He's not respecting the bounds of our contract. I don't have to talk to you. We're not on the same show anymore. God, doesn't respect my boundaries here. Now, before we get to Gun at One, real quick, I spent the last 2 days, Monday and Sunday, down at Drexel at the Rumpf, and it just a lot of fun. I love going. Like, if it was up to me, I would have been there all 5 days. That's the way I've done it for the last couple of years. Helped out behind the scenes, all these things. And last night, Archie Goodwin played at Kentucky, played in the league for a little while, ends up being the MVP. His team, Blue Magic, wins. The story of how he got there Monday night is tremendous. So he tells the team, if they win Sunday, he's still flying back for his son's first day of school in Little Rock, Arkansas, Sunday night, and he's going to fly back Monday. And he's essentially the team. He's had all these 20-point games. He's a really good basketball player. I mean, they need him last night. He scored 21 second-half points in the win. So he flies back Sunday after the semifinal game. Gets his son to school Monday morning. He had a flight directly back that he ends up missing the flight. So they book him Little Rock to Atlanta to Philly. Gets from Little Rock to Atlanta. His flight from Atlanta to Philly delayed till 8:45. Wasn't going to make the championship game.
Wow.
So they have to rebook him on a Spirit flight that he has to go all the way back across the airport, get on the Spirit flight, go from Atlanta to Philly. That flight lands right around 8 o'clock, immediately into a car, stretching in the back of, an Uber pretty much, taking him. He gets there. I think the championship game started around 8:30, 8:15. Just got out there on the court and played in this championship game. The most summer league possible story, but in 24 hours went from Philly to Little Rock to Atlanta, Atlanta back to Philly, showed up and played pretty much right off the plane out of the car.
And plus had to pay all the Spirit bag fees, I'm sure.
Listen, I would hope somebody covered that one for him. He's coming back to win a championship for you. I don't know how it works with the team, but insane. Just like the most summer league story of all time.
That
just
is a
to
good
show
one.
up. And they're telling me this last night. I'm doing the post game for him. I'm like, how in the world do you make that work? Also, amazing for him. A guy that plays overseas, getting to see his son's first day of school, got to be very important to him. And he wanted to be there for it. But then to come all the way back, he's like, yeah, I told myself when I got on that Spirit flight, we better win tonight. There's no way I can lose tonight. Imagine going through all that, end up losing the game anyways.
Yeah, that would stink.
We were saying at the end of the game, it was like he didn't want that team to lose. He was willing that team not to lose, and for good reason. I did not realize he had 24 hours like that. I don't know if there's a lot of things in this life I would have at 24 hours where I'd leave the city, come back to the city, go through all that travel strife, and still show up.
You buried the headline, though. These kids are back in school on...
I know, that was insane.
April 10th? Or August 10th?
Yeah, you're going back soon.
Yeah, I go back for orientation stuff next week.
You're ready, though.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah.
It's been a weird summer.
Well, you know what's going to be weird?
What?
Whatever's on
Brandon
Gun Gun's mind. Hey, it's time for the first ever edition of the Gun at One.
That's a dark place.
Yeah, all right, go ahead. What do you got for us?
All right, so we just discussed some of the Eagles' current problems, tangible problems that they have. You got CB2 out there, Adoree Jackson. You got Jacorian Bennett maybe getting that job. Keely Ringo. Jeff McClain was on this morning. It says it's probably still going to come down to a Jackson or Ringo. You got another problem in your safety secondary right now at safety. You don't know who's going to be back there. You got the edge rusher thing we just talked about. Outside of Hunt, Nolan Smith, you don't know what you got. And then you got other issues like the offensive line depth. This Dickerson thing really just pointed that out to me. But there's also these issues that I call the ghosts that the Eagles are fighting. There's the tangible issues you can point to right now that can maybe derail the season. But in my mind, the ghosts are bigger issues in my mind. There hasn't been a repeat Super Bowl winner in the NFC since the Cowboys in the 90s. You also haven't had the injury luck in back-to-back seasons. You know how hard that's going to be. Can they repeat that? You also got the NFC East repeat champion. Has not happened in 20-plus years since the Eagles did it 01-04. 2,000-yard rusher has never rushed for 1,500 yards the next season. You also got that hire from within at OC. The past two have failed. Can Kevin Patullo overcome that? When I look at the way the Eagles season is going to get derailed, I can't point to the actual issues that you have right now. CB2, safety, edge rusher. I'm more concerned with those ghosts, those voices in my head. I got to hit up Dr. Mike to switch. Get me something. Luckily, I don't have that STDS because I stay here, only listen to this. But I maybe need to get something to get those ghosts out of my mind. What concerns you guys more? The tangible issues you have right now, or these other things, like how hard it is to repeat, how hard it is to stay healthy for 2 years in a row. Like, those things might not be an actual thing to worry about, but to me, they're bigger issues in my mind than what you got at CB2, because I think the rest of the defense is solid already. Like, there's ways to mask these holes that you have right now. You still have one of the best rosters in the NFL, so those other concerns you got to overcome are bigger issues to me.
Well, you laid out a lot of concerns. A lot of concerns.
You got a lot to say.
You do have a lot to say.
You have a lot to say.
I understand the ghost thing, like the thing you described with like all these different trends that have never played out. Like the NFC East one is one that sticks in my brain because I feel like there's been 1,000 times where I've been like, yeah, this team's going to be the repeat one. And I understand it's only been 20 years, so you can't say it 1,000 times, but I feel like I've had that thought a couple times. Like, yeah, obviously they'd be the one to win it. And the Eagles were very close. Like, I know the collapse of 2023 is like a bigger story. They were so close to ending that trend. And it was still that bad at the end of the season where they didn't. I think I'm more concerned about the tangible, what I can control, than the intangible of this is the trend. Like, I understand the mindset of a fan that's like, I've seen them promote from within before. Like, all I could take from that first preseason game, Petula looks like he had a handle on the operation. Now, it's very vanilla. It's not like, he reinvented the wheel with offense in that game, but it looked like he had a little bit of a handle on it. I don't remember Brian Johnson's first preseason game and how I felt afterwards. Like, I would have to go back and like, oh yeah, I did feel this way after. I don't remember my exact takeaway from it. But I think to me, it is more about the tangible of what I can control. I can't control football history happening in front of me.
Even if I want to take the uncontrollables, okay? Look around the NFC. We have the Stafford stuff now with the Rams. You got the Jordan Love injury, which is not supposed to be serious, but it's a concern with the Packers. You got the coordinator stuff with the Lions. And you got the mess within your own division between Dallas and Washington. So, yeah, okay, could everything go wrong that you're saying? Absolutely. There's no doubt.
That's part of my argument. Like, you look around, these issues that you have, you should still be able to overcome your other opponents in the NFC East. You're probably the favorite in the NFC right now, even with the issue at cornerback.
You're clearly the favorite.
At safety. So if the Eagle season gets derailed, I don't think it's going to be because of issues at cornerback, too, because I think you can mask that somehow, some way. I think Jalen Carter gets home enough on the defensive line. I think if the season gets derailed, it's probably because an injury comes up to somebody major, more so than your cornerback who's getting toasted.
But nobody's going to see that before the season. Like, I can't go into the year expecting the sky to fall. Like, look,
that's fair.
I mean, so I'm going to live in this moment. If I'm the Eagles and if I'm an Eagle fan, I am living in this moment. This is different than last year. Last year, I did expect the sky to fall because we always talk about the Sirianni thing, and I thought Sirianni would get fired because I didn't see the fact that
I'm the dumbest coach in the world.
Exactly. I didn't see the fact where I thought the Eagles – you don't see teams collapse like the Eagles did in 23 and often rebound. And they found a way to do it. So this year I'm kind of going in with okay, everything will be fine.
I'm the smartest coach in the world.
Yeah.
I think when you look at a roster this talented, though, like the only way it gets, off track is something unpredictable. Unpredictable as the people keep getting on me.
Not unfiltered.
Unpredictable.
Okay.
Well, and I understand having concern about take regular life, for example. Like, there are things in life to be concerned about that day in and day out are going to happen. Then there are things that you don't expect to happen, and those become concerns, but you can't foresee those things to happen. So, to me, it almost goes down to, my own life philosophy and, maybe the deep therapy that I need that I should probably talk to.
Need it.
I only look at the idea of what I know I can control in front of me. Like, there are things that you can do and you can control. That's how I have to take the approach to the football team. And I think as much as you say they can mask up this problem, they can mask up that problem, when I look at this team and I say, okay, if I don't feel good about the second corner and I'm not sure about a safety tandem where Reed Blankenship is the bona fide safety in that tandem, and oh, by the way, that secondary is working with an edge rush that I'm not necessarily positive is going to be enough, That's enough to derail a defense. It is enough to derail a defense. That would be what I'd be concerned about more than, well, if Saquon is overworked from last year, like the offense is going to have to find a way to generate more offense without a 2,000-yard rusher.
I just feel like if we're sitting here in January and we're out of it, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I think the Eagles should be the favorite for a reason. I think if we look back on the season, we're probably going to point to other things outside of CB2 struggling or the safety not being up to snuff or them not getting home enough on the edge.
But with that argument, if we sit here in January, are you going to say the Eagles didn't win the NFC East because nobody wins the NFC East back-to-back years?
No, because it'll eventually play out as to why that doesn't happen, which it could be getting over that hump. You get to the top of the mountaintop. Do you have it from within to pull that out again? Like, there's all sorts of things to go into it. I just can't finger point it right now because it doesn't exist. Right?
What doesn't exist right now? Which right now you're trying to find something that exists to ruin it for you.
Existential
You're
dread.
overthinking it.
Breathe, Brendan Gunn. Please. Begging you.
All I'm saying, I guess if that's what I'm more concerned about, it seems like it's going to be a good season because I can't get so overworked about some of these. Obviously, there are concerns right now. That's why we discuss them. But I'm not going to say it's going to derail the Eagles season as of right now.
You're not going to say it's going to derail it because it's a tangible thing that you have talked yourself into not believing will derail it.
Yes.
But
I need to go speak to my therapist after the show.
The doctor might just switch 610-632-0975.
A lot of people need to go to therapy after dealing with me for 4 hours. I understand, Kevin. It's a
You
lot
got
to
issues.
take in. You still got a few more segments with us.
I
And
feel like Haley Joel Osment in The Sixth Sense. I'm seeing dead people, not like us.
You mentioned in there the safety corner and edge rusher. I brought up earlier in the 12 o'clock hour about what you would fix if you could only fix one going into the season. They've already tried to address corner, but let's say that's still the incomplete question of what Ja'Cory and Bennett, like, a lot of us, I saw it after the preseason game. Save us, Ja'Cory and Bennett. It's like, all right, they didn't just bring in, like, Prime Revis here. I can't tell you that that's just a savior. So what would you want to see them address of the three? We'll get to that coming up next. He's Kevin Cooney. I'm Ray Dunn. Take it through Middays, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Ricky
here on 97.5 The Fanatic. He is Kevin Cooney. I'm Ray Dunn hanging out with you. Brendan Gunn producing the show. Tremendous job with the gun at 1.
I see dead people.
You're like really psyching yourself out. I'm gonna need you to like calm down. Maybe go for a walk today. Take it get some fresh air.
It's 4 Mile August every single day. 4 miles, baby.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. I'm getting too fat.
Is this like? Are you legitimately doing this?
No, I am. Yeah.
Can I ask? Did the fiance put you up to this?
A little bit. I wanted to do it on my own. The morning show people, they let it be known how many donuts I eat, muffins, all that. I gotta, I gotta counteract it because I still love my donuts.
You follow up with the I want to do this on my own. Only begs the question of where was this suggested?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's pleading the fifth. He's pleading the fifth.
Listen, your fiance is wonderful.
Yes, she's very nice. She's loves lovely. To walk. She loves to walk.
That's more what I was getting at here. Does she want accompaniment on a walk and says it's good for you to do it?
And I'll tell you this. I've been, I'm here all the time. I love to listen to music, and I have not been able to do that as of late. Now I've carved out an hour to better my health and listen to an album for an hour.
So I will say this: I'm a big fan of the walk. I take almost every day after the show, either hit the gym or to go for a walk.
Almost as much as you're a big fan of like breathing.
Yeah, I mean I'm a pretty big fan of breathing as well. That's something, but I do enjoy a good walk.
I try to mix in a little bit of a run. I go 0.1, and then I walk 0.2, and then I run 0.1.
Yeah, okay. I would suggest if you're going to do intervals a little bit more than just 0.1.
I'm busting my ass trying to get to 0.1. I'm looking at the watch. I'm like, come on. I thought this was half a mile.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah. Got to look around behind my back to make sure no one's around. Like, watch me run 2 houses down. Turn around and stop.
Gets half a block and then he stops. I'm 51. That's my excuse. What's yours?
Later on, I have a bit of a conundrum I have going to the gym that I'm going to ask you about. Sick brag, I do go to the gym. I know it shows tremendously.
You hung out with Bill a little bit too long.
Yeah, trust me. If once I start talking about the protein bars that I'm eating, then you can really start to get concerned about what's happening.
What was the sound clip you guys used last week?
Oh, the Kind Bar incident. If you want to find that, it's in sound for updates from last week. I mean, if I play it again, I feel like I am jeopardizing.
No, come on, I enjoyed it.
It's somewhere in sound for updates for last week. We can find it. Now, I asked you if you could address one of safety, corner, edge rusher.
Corner.
So bar none. Why?
Because I think the way in this division, I think you need to have 2 good corners. Now, it also saves them from moving the gene around to different spots, whether it's out of slot or anything. It would be I'll take that back. It's a hybrid. I got to have both safety and corners solidified. I don't want the gene moving out of the nickel spot.
No, I don't want him moving out either, which is why corner, I feel like, is the correct answer to this. I think we, as a fan base, overrate what they had in a pass rush last year that ended up being just kind of middle of the pack and showed up when they needed it.
Yeah, in big games, they were awesome.
Yeah. When they needed it, it showed up. In big moments, Jalen Carter showed up. But overall, like by and large, as a bigger product, maybe second half of the season was better, but I think we overrate what they had.
And part of the reason they were able to get the pressure they got was because the corners were able to lock stuff down and give them basically extra time to get home.
So at this moment, corner, and I also do feel like I'm a little like prisoner of the moment from what I watched in the preseason game 1, but I think corner is the one that I would go to. To you, Brendan Gunn, if you could address one of the 3.
It's cornerback for sure. I mean, we were spoiled last year with Quinion and Darius Slay and Cooper DeJean, and then if any of them went down, you had Isaiah Rodgers. But I remember the year before when James Bradbury could not guard anybody on the outside by himself. They're on an island, and when there's a little bit of help on the back end, but the safety is also a question mark, you can't get any more help on the cornerback spot out there. So that's the issue that I am majorly concerned with. And you look at the schedule, dude. Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens. You go down. Kansas City, you got not the best wide receivers, but some names you got to pay attention to.
But you can't move you can't move the Gene out of slot there because he's probably going to be matched up on Mr. Overexposed.
You got Puka, Devontae Adams. You got the Washington Commanders twice when they got Debo and they got Scary Terry. Probably he's going to work that out. But there's a hell of a lot of great duos. You can't mask one side of the field for a lot of the games this year.
All right, so basically what we want to hear from people at 610-632-0975 is who doesn't want to address the corner position and who would prefer to address safety or edge rusher as compared. Because
safety, there's also the break glass portion you and I have been harping on.
Yes. Speaking
Justin
of flights
Simmons.
to Philadelphia, just get that man one, all right? I'm asking you, please.
Now, let me ask you guys this. Do you think he is literally just waiting to be here with Vic Fangio?
I think he's waiting for a situation.
Or do you think the rest of the league's telling him something?
He's also
telling us something that he doesn't have it.
He's also ring chasing.
If I was him at his age, you young fellas take care of the again, quote unquote intense practices.
He's the Dave Robertson of the NFL.
Hey man, I will say it. I know a lot of people are waiting for my comment on David Robertson.
Is this your official statement?
My official statement, I also was sweating there for a second. I, too, was a little worried about what was going to happen there.
The Dave Robertson fan club
when he
was ready to abandon it in night one.
When he forgot where the strike zone was, no, I wasn't going to abandon it. I was just going to I knew I was going to be in for it today. Because it wasn't going to be I'd abandon it. I would have to stand up there and just take the tomatoes being thrown at me. I understand where I stand with him. All I said was I liked going out and getting a guy for nothing but money. That turned into me having David Robertson's jersey. That's what that turned into.
Jersey. You can't afford a full jersey.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I haven't gotten a jersey.
I was just going to say, or you're going off eBay and getting one of them cheap ones.
I was going to say I would get one from overseas. That's like $8. Yeah.
Don't forget the R. It'll be Robertson or something.
With the conversation about Robertson, we're going to get back to the Phillies here in the next segment. Resetting what we got into about the NL East earlier on in the show. And Kyle Schwarber. Can we set a price tag? Do we have a price tag? It's just going to be expensive. How expensive? He's Kevin Cooney. I'm Ray Dunn. Taking you through the midday show here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Back to practice for the Birds. I'm Brennan Gunn with your Fanatic Sports Update. After a day off yesterday, the Birds returned to the practice field today to begin what could be the most important week of training camp. Beginning tomorrow, the Eagles welcome in the Cleveland Browns for a couple of joint practices. Dave Zangaro of NBC Sports Philadelphia joined Kincade and Salciunas yesterday, and he highlighted some of the reasons why these joint practices are so important.
The preseason, you have to kind of wait for situations to arise, whereas you get to put them in these situations in joint practices. You want to see red zone, guess what? You're in the red zone now. I think it's helpful, too, to see some of the camp standouts against different players.
The Eagles avoided a major injury scare yesterday with Landon Dickerson. Adam Schefter, among others, report that Dickerson is set to have a minor procedure on his right meniscus in the coming days. Dickerson is now considered week to week with the goal of returning before week 1 when the Eagles take on the Dallas Cowboys. The Phils got another win last night in part to Kyle Schwarber's National League leading 42nd home run of the season. Phils run it back against the Reds tonight. Ranger Suarez is on the mound. First pitch is at 6:40 tonight. This update was brought to you by Wendy's. Wendy's has breakfast biscuits for just $1, including the Honey Buddy. Start your day off right. Gotta be Wendy's. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limited 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in a combo while supplies last. I'm Brendan Gunn, and you're listening to the home of the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Midday show here on The Fanatic. I'm Ray Dunn alongside Kevin Cooney. Open the show today. Talk about whether you consider this NL East race over. Kevin's very close to declaring it over.
Yeah.
I need 2 weeks. I'm asking for 2 weeks. And 2 weeks from now, 2 weeks from today, I will be in New York. Good idea, bad idea. We'll see whether or not it is. I'm 0 for 2 in my last 2 Mets endeavors. Actually, no, I'm not. I will say. I saw the Phillies beat the Mets at Citizens Bank Park earlier this year.
City Field's a good place to go. I will say that.
Food
is tremendous.
Yeah, the food was tremendous. I enjoyed
it.
It
has
the burger I got there. Woo,
has some character as opposed to the place in the other borough.
Oh yeah, that place stinks.
Now, if you're there and they bury the Mets, dude, that's going to be electric.
Yeah,
it won't make up for last year, but it'll make nice vindication.
It won't make up for Game 1 of the NLDS, which I was at last fall, and it won't make up for on my birthday watching Aaron Nola serve up home runs and my best friend's fiance, who's a Mets fan, laughing in my face. That hurt.
And then turning around to drive home.
Yes. Well, no, my brother drove home because my brother was very clear on it's your birthday. You should enjoy being here, and I did not enjoy to the extent that one.
Now, I will readily admit, if I wasn't back at school, I would go up for that series.
And that's right now, the way it breaks out, not to drive the price up, to let people know, that Tuesday looks like it's going to be Wheeler. If things stay. Now,
6-man rotation.
Then things will switch around, and I'm sure I'll get, Taiwan. Nothing against Taiwan.
Nothing against Taiwan.
I saw
2.97, by the way, is his ERA. I misheard.
0.06?
Yeah, 0.6.
That's okay. It's still under 3.
Still under 3.
Sorry, you're not back to Marcos that one. That's what it is. I have to. You're off the show. That's
okay,
it.
That's
you're
fine.
Done.
Goodbye.
Bye. We did get into whether or not the East was over, and I'm still waiting. You are pretty much ready to call it, but not yet going to call it. Yep. Jason Stark seemed like he was even further beyond you, where he's like, just what seed is it going to be? He was ready to start playing out the bracket today.
Pretty much.
Talk to you next week, Jason. We'll get to that. We'll get to that coming up.
We have 6 weeks of content we need.
We don't have 6 weeks.
Before the playoffs?
Yeah, but we don't need to fill time.
Oh, that's true.
Let's get back to the Eagles. But Kyle Schwarber also came up earlier in our conversation about the MVP.
Yeah.
The National League Most Valuable Player conversation.
Yeah, a dope gave him no shot.
We both believe there's a conversation to be had. Now, it does lead me to the question everyone's asking every time they see a home run go up the fence. What could the price tag be? Now, Dave Dombrowski is one of the more available executives, it feels like, in sports.
Have podcasts, we'll talk.
Yeah, hey, you want to come talk? Yeah, absolutely. I'm here to talk. And quite frankly...
And honestly, he's one of those guys, and I'll tell you this from being down there. You see him in the lunchroom. You can ask him questions on background to get information for yourself.
Right. He, frankly, gives a lot of the same answers on a lot of these shows.
Yes, he does.
So here's his latest discussion of how just great it is to have Kyle Schwarber around.
And the one thing about Schwarb's, anywhere that you talked and the homework that you did, he is a leader in the clubhouse. He's a winner. He's a unique person. You're not just going to pay for that, but he has the ability that he has. Plus, he brings those intangibles to the club. So he was somebody that we thought was very important to our organization. We were in a position we hadn't won in a long time. He's a proven winner, and we thought it would be a very important person, not only in the lineup, but what he could bring to us as a teammate and as a leader in our club.
So, again, I don't say he's negotiating against himself because at this point the table's been set for this one, but he's telling you, basically, I adore you, Kyle Schwarber, don't leave us.
And the funny part is, today in the Athletics, C. Trent Rosenkrantz, who's covered the Reds for ever, and Schwarber's an Ohio guy, and he had mentioned at the All-Star game he thought it would be cool to play for his childhood team. Rosenkrantz goes back and asked him today, my biggest thing is I've always said I'm here trying to win and help these guys win. I've loved my time here, and it's a clubhouse I could see myself staying in for a period of time. There's this dance that's going to take place between now and free agency. I don't know if the market I don't think people understand. The market this year is going to be depressed anyway because people are not going to know what the collective bargaining situation in a year is going to be. I think the Phillies have a clear insight. Like, I would put it 95-5 that the Phillies re-sign him.
I believe he's back here. It is, you mentioned that, and in the worst way possible, but also just like the way it's worked out, the CBA
is their biggest advantage.
But it's been now twice for him. Like Major League Baseball and Major League Baseball Players Association, their distance in what they want is going to be what makes Schwarber a Philly, like what we remember him by for his career.
The 7 or 8 year Philly, right?
Yeah. And that also brings me to the next thing. You mentioned 7 or 8. Do people have limitations on what they're willing to give year and $1 million wise for Kyle Schwarber?
I'm sure people would have limitations if it's like a 6 or a 7 year.
Right, and I don't think he even thinks he's going to command that. But a 5th year?
What's he, 32 now?
Is it 32 or 33?
33. I think people will, provided he is still productive, you could probably do it where there's kickers or whatever that he would probably then.
Mutual option in the 5th?
Yeah, I don't even know. It would probably have to be like one that has an automatic kicker of so many ABs, so many games, all that.
So he's going to turn 33 next March.
Right.
Okay, so be age 33 next season. Would you do 4 for 160 or 5 for 170?
I'll give you the Gillick rule. The Gillick rule is I'd rather overpay but have less years.
Okay, so you would go the 40 per.
I would go 40.
Because 5 for 170 ends up being 32, 33 around that, or like 34.
I would go 4. I'd go 4 150 as my opening bid, and see if that gets it done.
Okay, so you're paying him, quick math here, 30.
About 37. Yeah.
Try and outbid that, Cincinnati.
Well, especially if you're thinking about ditching part of Castellanos' salary. You're going to have Rangers' salary coming off the books. You're going to have a couple others coming off the books.
JT's is going to be down. I can't imagine JT gets a raise.
No, he's not. He's not going to get a raise. He'll be back, but he won't get a raise.
It's so funny we talk about it. It's just the last gasp for this group, and it's like...
No, the last gasp is in 2 years.
It's like, yeah.
Or 1 year, depending on factors outside their own control.
Right. It's basically...
But this is
Suarez, Castellanos, and that's not even necessarily the case, but
maybe
it feels
Bohm.
like it's the case.
Maybe Bohm.
Maybe Bohm. They want to switch things around. Do you sell high on Marsh? Probably not. Bader's not a long-term fix
I was just
here.
going to say, Bader is a mutual option, I think. Next year, it's the same as Austin Hayes. So I think maybe they would. It's $10 million, so I think they would probably pick their portion up. It's a question of whether Bader would pick his portion up.
So you think he's getting more than $10 million out there?
I don't know. Maybe depends on playing time roles. If he's guaranteed to be a full-time starter somewhere.
And then you wouldn't go into a season with Crawford, Bader, and Marsh as your outfield. So then you probably are looking at selling.
They'll get one more piece.
Yeah. It's just an interesting thought on that one. But I'm curious. I'm going to go. I know the YouTube chat's got numbers. If you want to get in at 610-632-0975, where is like the benchmark for you, Schwarber-wise, in terms of paying? Like, you look at it, this is the top-end deal that I think that they should go to.
4 and 150.
Because I know everyone wants to say, give them the blank check. If anyone ever handed me a blank check,
I would say 4 with 150, and then there's probably an option, like a kicker option with statistical goals that may get it to like 5 and 190 or 185.
All right, that's about sounds good. We'll see where we get. Yeah, we'll see what we get in here. I also just got a text that today's apparently the anniversary. Very special game.
Uh-oh.
It's not at all a game that impacted the Phillies winning anything of note, but it was incredibly important to young me. And I want to bring that up coming up. Plus, I mentioned that gym problem, and we'll get to all of our Phillies conversation as well.
The gym problem, and also I got to bring up Taylor Swift.
You really want to talk Taylor Swift?
Yes.
You're excited about the new era?
No.
Oh. I don't want you to hate on Taylor Swift.
No, I want to hate on something else involving Taylor.
Oh, the Kelseys are too exposed.
Exactly.
Mute it on your timeline, Kevin. He's Kevin Cooney. I'm Ray Dunn here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Welcome back into the Midday Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic. He's Kevin Cooney. I'm Ray Dunn. Brendan Gunn producing the show. And that game that was important to me just easily was not today. I have to rip a friend of mine who covers the Phillies in town for this one. I'm very disappointed in him because I trusted him at that team.
Name
I
names.
didn't check. Tim Kelly, what the hell are you doing? Texted me that in the middle of it was in a group chat, so he didn't expect it to go out in the air. He was on the air yesterday with the morning show. Tim does a tremendous job.
He big timed you.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Try and get Tim Kelly on the middays. Oh, I do morning drive. Actually, I probably could. Honestly. He's a good enough guy. He would do it.
I know. Tim's awesome.
Tim's a great guy, but really, really screwed me on that one.
That can't happen.
You can't, yeah.
It can't happen.
You can't miss like that. It's August. That game was a game in May. I was like, that feels like it was an earlier game of the season because I was there for that game where Kratz and Galvis go back-to-back off of Roldis.
I remember.
It's like, yeah, this is the anniversary. No, it's not.
That was the infamous pastry game. Do you remember that story?
No, I don't think so.
Our buddy Ricky Ricardo, Spanish broadcaster at the time for the Phillies, ran into Chapman. He was telling him about these Cuban pastries on Saturday. He brought him down on Sunday. Chapman loaded up on him, was lethargic. Galvis and Kratz hit home runs to win the game.
Thank you, Ricky.
Ricky won a game for him in 2013.
He has exactly one win above replacement. Great follow-up to this one. Johnny is in this group chat with all Johnny Heller, for those that know, did stuff for Phillies Nation. Respond with, can't believe it's the anniversary of the Hoskins bat spike today. Which is a nice way of trying, Tim. So good work on that one, Johnny. I can't believe he did that to me. Now, while we're going along the Phillies line here, we asked for the Kyle Schwarber numbers. And I'm curious, text line, before I get to the YouTube chat here, and you can get it at 610-632-0975. We love projected contracts. We love talking about money that's not ours.
Yeah.
So tell me what exactly we're looking at.
Which is all money, by the way.
Yeah, we got Chris in Plymouth meeting checking in, said I would give him 4 years for $150 million, $37.5 a year. Harper's getting 26. I'm curious if they could use that as will Harper try to get more money out of that if it comes to that?
Yes, because Boris is his agent.
Yeah. Boris, honestly, what Boris wants is all the Middleton money.
Oh, yeah.
And then we get
that's where we're at here.
We also got somebody checking in saying, I would give Kyle Schwarber the incentive. He gets $1 million for each and every home run he hits, and that's his salary.
If you were Schwarber, would you sign that deal?
That cannot happen.
If not, well, but let's just play out in the world.
The CBA would never let it. The players of the union would never let it happen.
You are absolutely correct about this. It's not about the feasibility. If you were Kyle Schwarber, you get $5 million base salary. Stop. So just let it play out for a second. All right, this is just a fun little mental exercise. You get $5 million base salary. Would you bet on yourself for $1 million every time you hit a home run for the next 4 years after this?
No.
Would you make or lose money?
I would probably make money, but I wouldn't bet on it.
I wouldn't bet on it either. I would not go into my mid-30s.
It's a dumbass question.
It is, but it's actually like a fun mental exercise of like, hey, how much more money could you make if you just bet on yourself? Like if he had done that deal with the Phillies, like. Prove it, like $5 million. He would have made so much more money. You think about it. Just a $5 base salary.
It's a stupid question.
$5 million base salary every year, and then just add your home runs to it. He would make nearly $200 million. He would have made nearly $100 more million in this contract.
He would be pushing $60 million this year.
Right. So you can't do it. It's not allowed. It's not something that's everyone would get upset about.
Throw the tax off too. Seriously.
Imagine. There you go. The Phillies didn't try to improve at the deadline because Schwarber's having too good of a season. That's the Galaxy brain takeaway from all this. But yes, it's obviously a dumb question, but it's a funny way to go about it.
Final segment. I'm just going nuts on the hotkeys.
Yeah, but please put Wide Orbit 2 down on the board. Thank you. I think the 37.5 kind of seems like the right number. Like, kind of seems like the magic number.
Yeah, it's not bad.
35 in there. Like, I do think there's a world where he's like, I like being here. You're offering me an absurd amount of money.
All right, I'll go to the point. I think that there's already something done.
Interesting.
And maybe they don't want to do it now because they don't want to disrupt the season, and they don't want to alienate Real Muto.
That's fair.
What's the walkaway number? Where it's like you're splitting hairs. He's asking for 40. You're saying, I'll give him 37.5. What's the absolute walk-away number?
5 guaranteed years at $45 million.
Which is what we had that actually in the YouTube chat. Someone said 5 for 220, 225.
Yeah, that would be a walk-away. Because this team, you're then hindering them into the future. I mean, they do have a... Look, part of the DH thing is going to be that you're going to have to probably use Harper at some point as a DH.
Yeah, that 5th year is absolutely a Harper DHing time.
Yeah.
If not sooner.
Yeah.
I just have a tough time saying I'd walk away from him, but you're right. That 5th... God, yeah. You would have, what, 37-year-old Schwarber, 37-year-old Harper.
Yep.
And 38-year-old Turner.
Yep.
And
it's the Wheeze Kids Part 2.
Whatever is left of Aaron Nola at that point, all making combined.
And if you sign JT, it's not going to be less than
money
40,
better go up,
right?
What, for
3
a year?
years? Like
You might get 2.
I would hope 2.
I would hope 2. Do you think he's going for that?
If it's 3, then the salary is going to get under $10 million, I would think. I could see 2. I could see 2 for 30 or 3 for 30.
How many more years Wheeler got? 2?
Wheeler is 2.
This was the first year of the 3-year extension?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so 2. He's here to wrap up Wheeler's career.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the way I would look at that. I think both of them right off
It's
into the sunset.
it's keeping the thing appeased.
Yeah.
It's keeping the big guy appeased.
All right, real quick. Last one of the final things we do here, just while we're sitting here, because I had this.
Is this the gym story?
Yeah, I had this thing happen yesterday. So I've been going.
Does
to the
this
gym.
involve you wearing a towel or something?
No. Well, it involves the process.
Wait, no, you weren't wearing a towel?
I'm not going. This.
What are you doing in the sauna?
I'm not going into the sauna. This is where this story's headed. Please, if you will, let me explain. So when I go right after work. I go just straight to the gym from here. And day like yesterday, I had a T-shirt on, and I had the like khaki pants or whatever, and I usually just pack quick change of into shorts to wear to the gym. And I don't like carrying the bag into the gym. I don't like carrying the whole thing. So I'm one to just do the quick car change, right? You park on the street, he's got a quick car change. You're just throwing on shorts. It's really not that big a deal.
You're not in the school zone.
No, absolutely not. Do not park in the school zone. Make sure on that. So I go, I'm doing the quick car change to go. A guy walks up with his dog, and I'm parked next to a tree. The dog's, take care of business in the tree. Guy looks into the car. And I'm like, all right, like that's,
you guys make eye contact?
You make the awkward eye contact. You think that you would break eye contact.
You're not commando, are you?
No. But he's still looking into the car.
The guy lifts up his sunglasses.
It's a little too long of a look. It was one of those too longs of a look. And I'm just curious, at that point, I know I'm in the wrong because I'm being lazy and not bringing a gym bag and not just quickly changing at the gym. I understand that I'm in the wrong there.
You're
I
just
feel
searching for a Christmas gift, aren't you? At this point, for a gym bag, for us to give you a gym bag.
No, I have a gym bag. I have
you just in.
My good friends over at Temple have given me
I was
a
gonna
nice.
say all the free stuff you get from there.
No, last year. Shout out Miles Jackson. Thank you for your help on that one. Get me that nice bag. I now use it to travel when I travel too. It's nice, but I
love the YouTube chat.
I'm just saying, like, I feel like I was in the wrong initially. When you don't break away from the look, when you're still looking into the car, like I can't believe what I'm like.
Wiener.
I'm just saying, like, I'm clearly not in the wrong here, right? Like, I'm in the wrong initially, but the other guy's way more wrong than me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, that's weird.
Oh, but him changing in the car is not weird.
I'm just throwing on. It's you're underneath the windows. You got to really look in there. I got like not tinted, but they're like darker shade windows. Like you're not like you have to look.
Yeah, him gazing into your soul.
Yeah, like
at least he's looking at your eyes.
I broke eye contact quickly. I look back. He's still looking into the car. I'm like, stop looking in the car, man.
His eyes start to wander a little bit. You might be in trouble.
You know what's bad if he goes, "Hey, you're Ray Dunn."
He gets it on video. Yeah. Crossing Broad posts it.
TMZ.
TMZ cares who I am. Yeah. But to be clear,
radio host changes pants in his car.
I just feel like, am I the only one that does this for the gym? Like, I feel like it's just a quicker fix here. Than,
that has to. I want to know how you contort yourself in the car to change. Like, you're a grown man.
I'm long past that
I've
age.
seen your car. It's not like a humongous SUV. It's not a Cadillac.
It's got you can slide the seat back. Now I'm really getting myself in trouble. I'm just gonna shut up. All right, see, now this is what I was getting at here. MBD is like change to the gym like an adult. I don't want to bring the bag and go in there and have to get if I could just quick.
You don't want hold on, wait. You don't want the lock.
No,
you don't want the
lock.
locker.
No, I don't want a locker. I don't want to have something to grab. Like I want.
I don't know why. Why are we still on this? Wiener.
To be clear,
stop it.
What Randy said. The answer is no on the YouTube chat. The answer is no to that. I'm just going from the khaki pants to shorts. That's the only thing being changed.
Did you ever think about wearing the shorts underneath the khaki pants, ripping them off like the Harlem Globetrotters pants?
Just gonna say like an NBA guy coming in off the side.
Hop out of the car, rip them off. All the ladies will love that going into the gym. You're ready for business. Bring back the button pants.
Glad we had that conversation. I'm glad we also saved it for this portion of the show. I think it's weird. I think the fact that...
you think it's weird? And you're the one changing in your car.
Listen,
the guy's in the locker room right there.
It's just pants.
I get it. Hold on, wait. I think I know why. I think I know why he doesn't like changing in the locker room. Because there's too many guys who change in the locker room who don't wear a towel.
I'll be honest, it's a convenience thing. I want to be able to go to the gym just to go downstairs, get the workout in, come back up, get the nice little protein shake, and get the hell out of there. I don't need to.
You don't have to stretch if you're just contorting your body all sorts of ways in the car. You're getting your body loose in there, just trying to get the pants on.
I'm 25. I don't need a stretch anyways. That's like 3 years from now.
Just wait.
Oh, I know.
Hold on, wait, Dave. What's stopping you from changing into shorts in the men's room on the way out of the office?
This is a professional workplace. I look like this every day. Professional. That's a really good point.
We got 20 seconds.
That's a really good point, Dave. All right. Appreciate everyone for checking in. Kevin, appreciate you hanging out.
I'll see you Monday.
I'll see you Monday.
I'll see you Saturday.
Amy Fadul, I will see you Saturday. Amy Fadul in with us tomorrow. Brendan Gunn remains. Gunn at 1 will remain until he really makes me upset, and then maybe we'll send him out of here for good. He's Kevin Cooney. I'm Ray Dunn. We'll talk to you again real soon right here. 97.5 The Fanatic.